on a bum of the month tour. Bum of the month. I would have been a bum compared to you. What you doing? Oh.
What's happening, my people? It's Cat Sports again, back for another afternoon with the family. That's right. You know what time it is? If it's Monday through Friday, 2 p.m., it's the Box Historian bringing you all that boxing history. Boxing is the greatest sport of them all. That's why we love it. Can't get enough of it. Salute to everyone and welcome to another episode of Cat Sports, the Box Historian. Today, Thomas the Hitman Hearns, boxing royalty, has a family today. It's Thursday, getting late in this big week of boxing history. Yeah, we talked about the marvelous one yesterday, so we're going to cover Hearns today. Probably take a look at all the four kings over the next few days. Define Arnie 1 in the building. Salute Define Arnie 1. We're going to take a look at Thomas the Hitman Hearns today for today's show. Getting close to the weekend. More live boxing. No big names in there this weekend, but it's boxing. We're going to talk about how great was the Hitman. We're going to look at 10 of his best performances during his career. And then we're going to look at him and Sugar Ray's fight and dig deep into it. What each said about the fight after the fight was over. All that kind of stuff today. All about the Hitman. And probably next week, Sugar Ray and the Hands of Stone will get their turn because we did Hagler yesterday. Remember? Mike Grimm in the building. What's up, Mike Grimm? But of course, we're going to start today's show with our fight of the day. So let's get into it. Today's fight of the day. Okay, today's fight of the day is Roberto Duran versus Iran Barkley. February 24th, 1989. An amazing win for Hands of Stone. Duran versus Barkley. Going back into the 80s again. One of the four kings in action, the Hands of Stone, Roberto Duran. Now, Iran the Blade Barkley versus Roberto Duran, Hands of Stone, represents a very special page in the history book of boxing. This intense and historic battle is nothing less than a benchmark for how violently beautiful pugilism can be when the right ingredients are combined. Spirited action, high drama, impressive ring skills, and amazing courage were all on display the night the underdog Duran narrowly defeated Barkley for the WBC middleweight title in the obvious choice for 1989's Fight of the Year. Roberto Duran had been through many ups and downs by this time, having tasted both glory and defeat on several occasions, including the disgrace of No Moss 9 years earlier when he abruptly quit against Sugar Ray Leonard in their rematch. But the more relevant episode to Duran's challenge of Barkley was the vicious, humiliating second-round knockout he suffered at the hands of Tommy the Hitman Hearns 5 years before. Ever since, the public viewed Duran as washed up. A decision loss to Robbie Sims in 1986 only reinforced the feeling that the sun had finally set on the great Panamanian's career. But Roberto refused to retire. With more naysayers than supporters surrounding him, he kept fighting, determined as he was to become a champion once again. There's a little promotion posing before their battle, Duran and Barkley. So, Iran Barkley had won the WBC middleweight title by knocking out the same Motor City Cobra who had dispatched Duran 5 years before, Thomas Hearns, right? The Blade was feared for its punching power, which emanated from his tall frame and intimidating physical build. His knockout of Hearns had been emphatic, and there were those who gave Duran no chance to overcome a younger, bigger, and stronger opponent. After all, lightweights don't move all the way up to middleweight and then win world titles. Barkley was the solid favorite to bust Duran up and end his storied career. But there were those who thought otherwise, and they believed in the Panamanian's experience, ring smarts, and cunning, as well as the unique aura of Manos de Piedra. More than any other champion of the 1980s, and despite the disgrace of the No Moss fight in 1980, Duran inspired adulation and fervent belief, and his fans sold out Atlantic City Convention Center that cold February night. Still, most thought Barkley's physical advantages and punching power would be too much for the aging Roberto to overcome. But shortly before the opening bell, Barkley decided to change his tactics. Instead of attempting to overwhelm Duran with his greater size and strength, he elected to box the former champion and use his reach advantage to keep Roberto at a distance. The strategy proved relatively successful for the Blade, as he posted one of his best career performances. But if Barkley put up a spirited fight, Duran was genuinely inspired. He used his pugilistic wits to close the distance and find openings for his punches, while his confidence and courage allowed him to take the champ's best shots and keep battling back. As early as the opening round, Duran let Barkley know this was going to be a special night. Just before the bell to end round one, I ran through a lazy jab, and Duran slipped it to counter with a perfectly timed right hand to the temple that stunned Barkley and brought the crowd to its feet. Yeah, as early as the opening round, Roberto was serving notice. This ain't gonna be no cakewalk. Something special gonna happen here tonight. Okay. Oh, Defiant Arnie. Okay, Defiant Arnie 1 did his first live last night. So yeah, we gotta get over there and describe to Defiant Arnie. I didn't know you had started Defiant Arnie. So yeah. So we gotta get over there and describe to Defiant Arnie 1. Yeah, I'm gonna check out the playback immediately after this show. Okay, that's great news, Defiant Arnie. Congratulations. Okay, now, Duran versus Barkley was fast-paced and grueling from start to finish, hard-fought and thrilling. The challenger was tagged hard and often by the much bigger man, his head snapping back from Barkley's heavy jab, plus the occasional walloping right. Barkley also committed himself to a spirited body attack and thudding shots dug deep into Roberto's midsection. But Duran ducked and weaved to get closer to Barkley, and by the mid-rounds, he was dishing out his own heavy artillery at close quarters. Utilizing his often overlooked defensive talent, Duran made Barkley miss and then made him pay with perfectly timed counter shots. And increasingly, as Duran warmed to his task, the former champion looked like the Manos de Piedra of old, using savvy hand and head feints to set up his attack, and shaking Barkley with his powerful right hand. Behind on points, Duran astonished everyone by seizing the initiative in the late going. Round 9, by Barkley's own reckoning, was the turning point of the fight. It was a slugfest as Duran came on strong, landing perfectly timed right crosses with all his weight behind him. But the champion connected with bombs of his own, one of which Roberto walked right into, increasing the velocity of the impact. Barkley later stated that Duran should have gone down from that punch, but he willed himself not to, because if he had, he wouldn't have gotten up. It was his heart, said Barkley. He just wouldn't go. The final round saw the fighters give and take tremendous blows as the sellout crowd stood and roared its approval. And, against all expectations, it was Duran's power which proved decisive, not Barkley's, as evidenced by the dramatic knockdown Roberto scored near the end of round 11, when, driving forward, he landed 4 big power punches, one after the other, to send the defending champion to the canvas. Barkley beat the count and finished strongly in round 12. But that knockdown proved to be the difference in the fight. Yep, that knockdown was the difference in this contest. Yeah, there it is right there. Put Barkley on the mat in round 11, and that was the difference. Very close decision. As everyone waited for the judge's decision, all knew it was an extremely close affair. But Duran's late round surge had stoked the high emotions of the fervent pro Roberto crowd, and those closest to the ring girded themselves for the chaos sure to follow if the verdict went Barkley's way. Luckily for all except Barkley, two of the judges scored it for the challenger, and the jubilant crowd celebrated as Duran's handlers carried him about the ring in triumph. Against the odds, Roberto Duran had added another incredible chapter to his legend, winning his fourth divisional title with an amazing performance in a truly remarkable contest, and further cementing his status as one of the greatest boxers who has ever lived. The Hands of Stone. Yep, that was his fourth weight class right there. Yeah, that was Roberto's fourth weight class that night. Drunk Irishman in the building. What's up, Drunk Irishman? How are you today? Just finished our fight of the day. Roberto Duran upset Iran Barkley for his fourth divisional title. Okay, so now we're going to get started on the Hitman, Thomas Hearns. Now, okay, that's our subject for today. Thomas the Hitman Hearns, boxing royalty. Yeah, define, Arnie. Have you figured out any kind of schedule, or you just going to randomly pop up, starting out, for the time being? Yeah, that's normally how everybody starts. They just pop up and then they, get a regular schedule going. But yeah, congratulations. That's great news. Pardon me for one moment, please. Yeah, you can put your link in if you want to, define, Arnie, and I'll pin it and just tell everybody as they come in to subscribe to you so we can get you off the ground good, get your subscriptions going and everything. Okay. You can drop your link in there and I'll pin it, and then we'll, tell everybody to subscribe to Define Arnie One. Now has his channel. I did his first live last night. I didn't even know I know you had said you was going to start one, but I didn't know it had went into effect. Okay, great news. Thomas the Hitman Hearns, boxing royalty. How's everybody? It's Thursday. I was thinking it was Friday for the longest time, but yeah, it's Thursday. Yeah, we're gonna take a look at all the 4 kings. BBO gave me the idea for Hagler yesterday, and so did I take it, ran with it. We're gonna look at Sugar Ray Leonard and the Hands of Stone next week. We're gonna save the best for last. The Hands of Stone next week. I'm biased toward the Hands of Stone, so yeah. Of course, I call him the best of the 4 kings. Okay, but first, again, just like Hagler yesterday, how great was Thomas Hearns? Anyway, how great was the Hitman? Okay, tomorrow. Cool, you find only one. Okay. Yeah, how great was Thomas Hearns, the Hitman? Now, Tommy Hearns is an all-time great, a proud member of the International Boxing Hall of Fame, perhaps the best junior middleweight ever, 154-pounder. Hearns is best remembered for his ferocious battles with Ray Leonard, Roberto Duran, and Marvin Hagler, the other 4 kings. Now, Tommy Hearns was one of the 1980s 4 kings, so his wars with fellow kings Duran, Leonard, and Hagler helped define his legacy. It must be said, his win over Wilfred Benitez was equally as important as it proved once and for all just how great Hearns' technical skills were, right? And they always call Wilfred Benitez the fifth king because he fought all of them except for Hagler. Okay. Now, starting at welterweight and only beaten there by Ray Leonard in one of the best unification fights in history, Hearns is ranked among the top 3 junior middleweights ever and was a formidable middleweight as well. He even fought his way successfully up to cruiserweight. Now, Hearns went up from welterweight to light heavyweight. He didn't go up as many weight classes as Manny, but he went up more pounds. Manny went up like 40-something through 8 weight classes. Hearns went up 50-something through welterweight, middleweight, super middleweight, through 6. But Manny was going through classes like 3 pounds apart. Hearns was going through classes 6, 8, 10 pounds apart. So yeah, he actually went up more pounds than Manny did. Now who was Tommy Hearns? Okay, who was Tommy Hearns? Thomas Hearns was born in Grand Junction, Tennessee on October 18, 1958. He was the youngest of 3 children in his mother's first marriage. After his mother's second marriage, the family grew to 9 siblings. Hearns' mother raised all 9 children as a single mother in Grand Junction, Tennessee, until when Tommy was 5 years old, she then moved her family to Detroit, Michigan. And the rest is history, right? Now let's take a look at Tommy Hearns' amateur career first. Amateur career for the Hitman. As a 10-year-old, Hearns wandered into the famous Kronk Gym and found a home he would be part of the remainder of his life. Yet still part of that Kronk family, right? He also found a trainer who would shape his destiny, Emanuel Stewart. Yeah, Emanuel had him from day one. From that day he wandered into the Kronk Gym as a 10-year-old to the end of his career, he was with Emanuel Stewart, okay? Now, his talent was obvious. Despite his ungainly and scrawny appearance, he was fast, agile, disciplined, and a very, very quick learner. Hearns ended his amateur career with an amazing record of, he had 163 fights. He won 155 and lost 8. Incredibly, for a man who would become known as the Hitman, Hearns had almost no power as an amateur, stopping somewhere between 7 and 12 opponents in 163 fights. Isn't that amazing? As an amateur, Thomas the Hitman Hearns had almost no power. Now, as an amateur, his major wins were 1975 bantamweight silver medalist at the National Golden Gloves tournament. 1976 lightweight silver medalist at the National Golden Gloves tournament. 1976 lightweight silver medalist at the National Amateur Athletic Union tournament. 1977 National Golden Gloves light welterweight champion. 1977 National Amateur Athletic Union light welterweight champion. And Hearns was voted fighter of the tournament. In 1977, after winning the National AAU title, Tommy Hearns turned pro. Okay? Let's look at his pro career now. Take a look at his professional career. The Hitman. Now, Hearns has a record of 15 wins, 4 losses, 1 draw, 9 knockouts in world title fights, holding titles in 5 weight classes. He has a record of 13 wins, 5 losses, 1 draw, 8 knockouts against former, future, and current world champions. Ring Magazine Fighter of the Year for 1980. Ring Magazine Fighter of the Year for 1984. The Boxing Writers Association of America Fighter of the Year for 1980. The Boxing Writers Association of America Fighter of the Year for 1984. He was named the greatest junior middleweight of all time by the Ring magazine in 1994. Hearns was named the greatest junior middleweight of all time by the Ring magazine in 1994. Tommy was inducted into the International Boxing Hall of Fame in 2012. First ballot, of course, first ballot Hall of Fame. You know. Hearns also had that rarest of gifts, power that rose with his rise in weight. He was just as deadly at middleweight as he was at welterweight. His power as a pro was amazing, considering he had virtually no power as an amateur. Emanuel Stewart explains this by saying, okay, Tommy had to grow into his body. It was his trainer, Emanuel Stewart, only trainer he ever had. Now, let's look at Tommy Hearns' style as a fighter. His style, okay, as a fighter. Now, Hearns could not afford, with his spindly upper body, to exchange a lot at close range, okay? Tommy was a great boxer puncher who used economical foot movement and one of the best jabs in boxing history to control distance, right? Not only did Hearns have a great straight jab, but he had mastered paw. He hit a great straight jab, but he also mastered the paw and flicker jabs. He was a master technician who not only knew every trick, but used most at one time or another. Okay, the Hitman. Okay, taking the check. Now, Hearns' favorite combination was jab and the straight right hand. Jab and big straight right hand. Hearns had an incredible 78-inch reach at 6'1" and used every bit of it, okay? He also had incredible power at welterweight and junior middleweight and used his long right hand to simply drop his hammer on opponents, right? Drop the hammer on them. His knockout of Roberto Duran remains a thing of beauty to this day. Now, on defense, Hearns used upper body movement to perfection. He did not have to use much foot movement in defense. He only had to lean his upper body back. His long torso allowed him to laterally lean back out of range on punches. That's how long his torso was. He could just lean back out of range. Hearns also had very long and skinny arms, which were not up for a beating. So he generally tried not to block punches with his arms, but simply used upper body movement instead. Yeah, because he had long, skinny arms, so he didn't use them to block punches. Use upper body movement when he could. Sometimes you gotta, use your arms. But consistently, most of the time he tried to use upper body movement. Use his arms to block as less as possible. Okay? Now, what made Tommy Hearns so dangerous was incredible power at his best weight, considerable speed and agility, great boxing skill as a pure technician, one of the best jabs of all time, masterly use of reach, timing, and distance. Reach, timing, and distance. He was a master at those three things. Combining them simultaneously. Reach, timing, and distance. Okay? Hearns' all-time war with Ray Leonard. Let's talk about that. His all-time war with Mr. Sugar Ray Leonard. Okay? There they are, exchanging jabs. Now in that fight, Sugar Ray had a lot of trouble with that Hearns jab too. Okay. On September 16th, 1981, at Las Vegas, WBC welterweight champion Tommy Hearns met WBA welterweight champion Sugar Ray Leonard for the undisputed championship. The WBA WBC was undisputed then. That was it. Now Leonard came in 35-1. Hearns was 32-0. And Leonard beat Hearns in a ferocious 14-round battle that remains one of the great welterweight fights in history. It is notable that Hearns ended the fight 32-0. 30 of those 32 wins was by knockout, an incredible 94% knockout percentage coming into that fight. In 32 fights, only 2 men had went the distance with the Hitman. Incredible. Okay? Now, Emmanuel Stewart. Now, many of the YouTube experts will tell you that Sugar Ray negated the 4 inches of height and reach Hearns had on him by skillfully outboxing him. That's another fairy tale myth. That is simply not so. Sugar Ray did not negate the 4 inches of height and reach Hearns had. In fact, the opposite happened. Hearns used that height and reach to perfection against Sugar Ray that night. The fight began with Leonard attempting to box and Hearns looking to drop his right hand on Leonard. But that swiftly changed, and Hearns became the boxer with Leonard darkly pursuing him. Hearns thoroughly outboxed Leonard for most of the fight, controlling the fight with the jab until Leonard finally broke through at the end. So that is a myth about Sugar Ray negating Hearns' jab and everything. That didn't happen. Now, Emmanuel Stewart would say regretfully about this fight. Tommy beat Sugar Ray most of the fight. He tied in the late rounds because he was weight drained. If it had been a 12-rounder, Tommy would have won easily. Yeah, that's true. But it was 15. Sugar Ray beat Tommy Hearns in the 14th round by channeling his inner Joe Frazier, boring inside and beating him down with a vicious body attack. At that point, Sugar Ray Leonard needed a knockout to win, and he got it. Needed a knockout, and he got it. Now, though their rematch at middleweight was called a draw, Hearns battered Leonard from pillar to post in a fight he clearly should have won. Right? So let's take a look at Hearns versus Hagler. The Hitman versus Hagler. Okay, let's take a look at that one. About the Hitman today. Hearns versus Hagler. The most brutal 3 rounds in boxing history. That describes that fight to a T. The most brutal 3 rounds in boxing history. Now, if Hearns versus Leonard had been a cat and mouse chess game, an extraordinary boxing match where the slugger Hearns became the boxer and the boxer turned into a mini Joe Frazier, Hearns versus Hagler was one of the most vicious battles in boxing history, with both power hitters battering each other mercilessly. Now, though Hearns went down in the end, it was an incredible battle, showcasing both men's power. Hearns told UK Boxing News after the fight. This was later on in life too, when he's after their careers and stuff. Hearns said in an interview, "I'm definitely proud to have been a part of that fight, for the part I played in it." Hearns said, "I have a lot of great memories from that fight. I worked hard for that fight. I'm happy that a lot of people have a lot of respect for that fight. People say they're the 3 greatest rounds in boxing history. Let me just say, they're the 3 greatest rounds that I ever put out." Okay? So Hearns versus Duran. Hearns versus the Hands of Stone. Here you are. Terrible style matchup. One of history's great knockouts. Now, Hearns beat Duran like he stole Tommy's lunch. If there ever was a fight which showcased Hearns' remarkable talent, it was this one against Duran. Hearns started the first round by setting Duran up with his jab, then dropping his right hand on Roberto, putting him down twice in that first round, hurting him so badly at the end of the first round that Duran went to the wrong corner at the end of the round. His team had to go get him and lead him to his corner, right? In the second round, Hearns landed the right that put Duran down like he had been shot, and the fight was over in 1 minute and 7 seconds of the second round. Yeah. Now, Sugar Ray Leonard said, in admiring Hearns' work in that Duran fight, I thought Tommy had killed him. That's what Sugar Ray said about the Hearns Duran fight. He said, I thought Tommy had killed Roberto. Okay. Hearns first Benitez. We got to include the 15, right? Hearns versus Benitez. The 15. Okay. That's what some people call Wilfredo. Only 4 kings in the deck, though, so Wilfredo was left out. But Hearns versus Benitez, not today, so let's talk about that. Him and Wilfredo. Hearns outboxed the boxing master in this one. Wherever his boxing skills was on display, it was a fight against Benitez. Al Booker in the building. He couldn't do nothing, Al Booker. It was just a terrible style matchup, you know. Hearns had like 6 inches of height, like 8 inches of reach, and Duran just wasn't going to beat him by standing outside. And he had to get inside. He just had too much to go through. Similar to Joe Frazier and George Foreman. Just too much to go through, And yeah, Hearns had an all-time jab and an all-time right hand. That's what Roberto was up against. They could fight a million times. It probably would be the same result every time between Hearns and Duran or Foreman and Frazier. It's terrible style matchups. But yeah, Hearns and Benitez, his boxing skill was on full display because Benitez was a boxing master. And Hearns outboxed him. Everybody thought he was going to try to bring his power to bear on Benitez. Now, when Hearns met Wilfred Benitez at 154 for his junior middleweight title, everyone expected Hearns to play the bull to Benitez's matador. Instead, Hearns showed his boxing skills were second to none. Pat Putnam said of Hearns' point to win. Historian Pat Putnam said, it has been the lot of Thomas Hearns to be regarded solely as a cannon, something to be rolled into a ring to reduce an opponent to rubble. Last Friday night against Wilfred Benitez in New Orleans Superdome, Hearns finally showed that he brings more to boxing than a big bang. Fighting with only his left hand from the 8th round on after hurting the right on Benitez's head, Hearns outboxed the master boxer and lifted the Puerto Rican's WBC Super Welterweight Championship on a majority decision. Now, Hearns was a constant presence in the top 10 for 17 years. Okay? 17 years. Ranked in the top 10. Just Do Boxing in the building. What's up, Just Do Boxing? 4 p.m. daily. Balanced. Unbiased boxing talk. Everybody gets their Just Do at Just Do Boxing. 4 p.m. Monday through Friday. Salute Just Do Boxing. Taking a little look at Thomas Hearns today. We're going to cover the 4 kings over the next few days. Tiger was yesterday. Yeah, Hearns was a constant presence in the top 10 for 17 years. Okay? 17 years. Now, he entered the top 10 in 1978 at number 9. Welterweight contender, right? And by 1980, he was the WBA welterweight champion. 82, he was the number 1 contender at junior middleweight. And by the next year, he had won the junior middleweight championship. right? And then 86, he was the number one contender at middleweight, 160. And about 87 the next year, he was the middleweight champion. And then he moved on up to super middleweight. 89, he was number two contender at super middleweight. 1990, he was the number one contender at super middleweight. And that was the year he won the super middleweight championship. And 91, he won the light heavyweight championship. Okay? He fought in 6 weight classes. He was a champion in 5 of them. All of them, he went from welterweight to cruiserweight, but he never won a championship at cruiserweight. But from welterweight to light heavyweight, he was a champion all the way up, and his power went with him all the way up. Now, Tommy Hearns was ranked 16 straight years and a total of 17 altogether. For 12 years, he was ranked as a champion. He was a champion in 4 different weight classes for 12 years. 13 years, he was either number 1 or number 2 in 6 different weight classes, or the champion. Okay? 12 years as a champion. Now, let's look at his competition he faced. Competition the Hitman faced. Okay? Competition faced. Thomas the Hitman Hearns. Now, just like the legendary historian Anthony Mason, I talked about this, what he said, the only way to fairly rank a boxer's place in history is by comparing their resumes. And that does not mean just wins and losses, because it is too easy today to fight only has-beens or never will be's and pad the record. So, it's not only who you fought, but maybe more importantly, when you fought them, right? Now, during his 67-fight career, Hearns faced the best of his time. Hearns faced every great fighter of his era, including Sugar Ray Leonard, Pepino Cuevas, Wilfred Benitez, Marvin Hagler, Roberto Duran, Doug DeWitt, Ron Rodon, Iran Barkley, James the Heat Kitchen, Virgil Hill, Randy Shields, James Shooter, Sensek, Muang Surin, I had to throw one in on me, Bruce Curry, Dennis Andres, Nate Miller, and Eddie Garza. He also faced the following opponents ranked in their career: Angel Espada, Mike Colbert, Marcus Geraldo, Murray Sutherland, Fred Hutchings, Mark Madal. These are some great fighters in this one too. Michael Oliveira, Pablo Baez. All those. Every top fighter in his era, the Hitman fought him. Okay? Every one of them. So, life after boxing for the Hitman. Life after boxing. Now, Hearns lives currently in Southfield, Michigan, which is a suburb of Detroit, Michigan. Like so many boxers before him, Tommy ran into financial troubles after retirement. Also, like so many athletes before him and after him, poor service by accountants and managers contributed to his post-boxing woes, financial troubles. Yep. The accountants and managers. Due to a $250,000 debt to the IRS for late and back taxes, Hearns was forced to auction off some of his possessions at the auction block of Detroit, Michigan on April 3rd, 2010. Among the property auctioned off were a 1957 Chevy, a 47-foot fountain boat, and most of Hearns' career memorabilia. But he kept his home and is seen around Detroit often at sporting events. The Hitman never forgot his hometown or his family. He was at the Bud Canelo fight Saturday, remember? They showed him. Yeah, Hearns was in the house. Tommy Hearns was a truly great fighter, one of the true elite, and also a very good person. The Hitman, Tommy Hearns, okay? So now, all about the Hitman today. Thomas Hitman Hearns boxing royalty. Okay, so now let's look at some of his best performances. 10 of the best performances he had in his career. Okay, 10 of Tommy Hearns' best performances in his career. The Hitman. I got a good thing too coming up on him and Sugar Ray. Not the fight, but what they said in later years about the fight and everything. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Some of Tommy Hearns' best performances coming up right now. First one is here we go. Was against Virgil Hill. Okay. Thomas Hearns defeat Virgil Hill. That's the first one. Okay. On June 2nd, 1991, Thomas Hearns fought light heavyweight world title. He fought Virgil Hill. Bear with me for a minute. Okay. On June 2nd, 1991, Thomas Hearns fought Virgil Hill in a light heavyweight world title fight for Hill's WBA title. Hearns was 32 years old and with a record of 50 wins, 3 losses, 1 draw, 40 knockouts. Hill was 27 years old and Hill was 30 and 1. 30 wins, 3 losses. No, Hill was 30 and 0 with 18 knockouts. Hearns won the fight by a 12-round unanimous decision. And he took, that was when he won the light heavyweight world title, right there. That was his 5th weight division, and he won a title with. He did go to cruiserweight after that, but he didn't win a title at cruiserweight. Okay. Thomas Hearns versus Doug DeWitt. I think that's Virgil Hill again, but Thomas Hearns versus Doug DeWitt. October 16th, 1986. Hearns faced off against Doug DeWitt in a middleweight fight, right? Now, Hearns was coming in with a record of 43 wins, 2 losses, 36 knockouts. He was 27 at this time. And DeWitt was 25 years old with a record of 37 wins, 3 losses, and 3 draws, 17 knockouts. Hearns won the fight by a 12-round unanimous decision. Then Pepino Cuevas. This is just 10 of Tommy Hearns' best fight, best performances. Thomas Hearns versus Jose Pepino Cuevas. August 1st, 1980. Hearns fought Jose Pepino Cuevas in a welterweight world title fight. This was Hearns' first title as a pro. This was for Cuevas' WBA title. Hearns was 21 years old, 29 and 0, with 27 knockouts. Cuevas was 22, and Cuevas was 27 and 6 with 24 knockouts. 2 knockout artists. Knew this wasn't going all the way. Hearns stopped Cuevas on a 2nd round TKO. Crowned the new WBA welterweight world champion. That was Hearns' first title as a pro, right there. 1980, 21 years old. Pepino Cuevas. Okay. And then Thomas Hearns versus Nate Miller. On April 8th, 1999, he getting old now. Thomas Hearns faced off against Nate Miller in a cruiserweight fight at age 40. Hearns, by that point, was 59 wins, 4 losses, 1 draw, 46 knockouts. Miller was 35 years old with a record of 30 and 6, 26 knockouts. Hearns won the fight by a 12-round unanimous decision. No titles on the line in that one. And we talked about this one. The next one was Benitez, right? December 2nd, 1982. He fought Benitez in a super welterweight world title fight for Benitez WBC Ring Magazine titles. Hearns was 24 at that time. 36 and 1, 32 knockouts. His only loss was to Sugar Ray. Benitez was also 24, with one loss, 44 wins, one loss, one draw, 28 knockouts. Hearns won 15 round majority decision, right? And he won became super middleweight world champion, ring in WBC. Set some of Hearns' best performances. Next one was Roberto Duran. Talked about that, remember? June 14th, 1984. At this point, Hearns was 25. Duran was 32. Hearns came into this fight. His record was 39-1, 33 knockouts. Still only had the loss to Sugar Ray. Duran was 32 at that point, and Duran had 82 fights. He was 77 wins, 5 losses, 58 knockouts. Of course, Hearns stopped Roberto in the second round, TKO, and they were going for Hearns titles in the junior middleweight division in that one. Okay. Then we had Hearns versus Sensak Buangas. Oh, sorry. October 12th, 1979. He didn't have a title yet then. He faced off non-title fight. And Hearns was 21 at that time. 23-0, 22 knockouts. Only one man that went the distance. And his opponent was 29 years old, 13-3, 10 knockouts. Hearns won the fight by TKO. I forgot what round it was. We talked about that earlier too, I think. And then he fought Eddie Gazzo. Well, not right after that, but yeah, the next, we talked about his biggest wins. Eddie Gazzo. Okay? And Eddie was May 2nd, 1980, still young. He was building his way up toward his title shot with Moreno Filipino then. And welterweight, Hearns was still 21, 28-0, 26 knockouts. Gazzo was 29, 39-5, 2 knockouts. 2 draws, 21 knockouts. Hearns won this one by knockout, okay? Hearns versus Dan Ward. January 28th, 1994. Older Hearns, right? 35. And 52 wins, 4 losses, 1 draw, 42 knockouts. He stopped Ward by TKO. And finally, versus Mark Vidal in this one, 1986. Junior middleweight. WBC Ring Magazine titles on the line. Hearns had a hold him at that point. 27 years old, 42 wins, 2 losses, 36 knockouts. He stopped Vidal in the 8th round TKO. Successfully defended his titles. The Hitman did. B3 picks in the building. Mike Magic and B3 in the building. What's up, gentlemen? We're talking about the Hitman today. And now, let's talk about the Hearns and Sugar Ray. Not exactly the fight, around the fight. And they given their comments in later years about that fight. Their first fight, you know. They were going for undisputed and everything. It's called Hearns versus Leonard, in their own words. Okay? Hearns versus Leonard, in their own words. With 2 White Magic and B3 picks. Everybody gets subscribed up to B3. You find Arnie One has started his channel. Did his first live last night, so everybody gets subscribed to Define Arnie One too. Yeah, he told me he was gonna start a channel, but I didn't know he had got it off the ground. But yes, Define Arnie's channel is officially started. So let's get subscribed to him. I'm not even subscribed to him yet. I'm gonna take care of that as soon as I finish stuff. And check out his live last night. Yeah. I didn't know about it, but I'll be in the next one. His next live. I will definitely be in that one. Okay, so let's get subscribed up to Define Arnie One. I think everybody here probably already subscribed to B3. Okay. Yeah. Hearns versus Leonard, in their own words. Okay. But as everybody is thirsty, I was thinking it was Friday. I said, nah, I am moving fast enough without me skipping a day. Right? It will be Friday soon enough. We got action this weekend, but no big names, but it's boxing. So yeah, can't wait for that November card with Benavidez and y'all. That is a great card. That's the one Devin and Ryan Norman is on. They got Devin by D6 unanimous decision. Yeah, I don't think Norman ready for that yet. He haven't fought nobody. He knocked out Santana. Wow, and some Japanese guy nobody heard of. But I don't know. Take nothing away from me, young man. Young man been proven and looking good, man. You know, so it should be a great fight. But the good part about it, just like Bud and Canelo, we're gonna get to see it and see what happens. And what's wrong on that one? I heard Canelo. Bud, put on his show, didn't he? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Hearns versus Leonard, in their own words. It's kind of interesting. Okay. Let's see here. Yes, where would it be right there? There we go. Hearns versus Leonard, in their own words. Yep. Okay. Anybody come in? Okay, Mike Magic. Okay, everybody, get the sweat up to be fine on one. Get his channel off the ground. They're going. Okay. Now, the Sugar Ray Leonard versus Thomas Hearns fight in 1981 was significant for so many reasons. You had two of the best, if not the best, fighters on the planet, with the winner to be regarded as the best in all of boxing. Now, Leonard was the reigning WBC welterweight champion. He had avenged his only defeat to Roberto Duran in the infamous No Marks rematch. Remember that one? And Hearns was the WBA welterweight king. Hearns was unbeaten. You remember, Hearns came into the Sugar Ray fight with 32 fights, 32 wins, 30 by knockout. That's 94% knockout ratio, right? 32 fights, only 2 men went the distance with the Hitman at that point. So they built this unification fight to decide the undisputed welterweight king. It was called the Showdown. And that's exactly what it ended up being, a showdown, okay? Now, Hearns was 3 years younger than Sugar Ray, and he had a 4-inch reach advantage. Sugar Ray was coming off a huge win over WBA super welterweight title holder Ayub Kalule to win his second world title. Now, Hearns had made 3 successful defenses of his craft, including stoppage wins over Randy Shields and Pablo Baez, since scoring an electrifying 2-round knockout of the formidable Pino Cuevas. That was Hearns' first title. Now, I don't know what that second title Sugar Ray had, but it was something minor because the only major was undisputed was WBA and WBC. And Hearns had the WBA, so the second title he won over Kalule was something minor. I don't even know what else. Might have been the USBF, USBA, or NABF, or something like that. But the main two was that Sugar Ray had the WBC, Hearns had the WBA at that time. That was undisputed. Hearns coming into the Sugar Ray fight, I think it was Cuevas when he won that WBC. Now, the Hitman had an aura of invincibility and fearsome power, while Sugar Ray was widely viewed as the most talented boxer alive. A showdown was inevitable, and it was one of the biggest events of the decade. They had already been talking about Sugar Ray and Hearns fight when they were still in the amateurs. They already been talking about when they got into the pro rank. They was on a collision course already when they were amateurs, man. Them two was. And they never mentioned the amateurs. Ain't that crazy? But this fight was talked about way back then in the middle 70s. Even before Sugar Ray went to the Olympics, they were talking about him and Tommy Hearns way back then. So this fight was very anticipated. The showdown. Oh boy, I went backwards again. There we go. Now, both Thomas Hearns and Ray Leonard were happy to share their memories of that historic fight, right? Even after all these years, the recollections of it remain vivid for both men, and both express mutual respect for their former rival, as well as astonishment at how fast the years have gone by since that historic night. But despite the passage of time, neither questions the importance of that first meeting for their careers and their legacy. Right? That was huge for both of them, winner and loser. Now, despite their public utterances at the time and posturing for the press, both men had tremendous respect for each other's talent and ring accomplishments. Leonard was especially impressed with Tommy's winning effort over when he beat Pepino Cuevas. Leonard said about that fight, Hearns and Cuevas, he said, Pepino Cuevas was tough. After watching that fight, I knew Tommy was a killer. I knew I had a real fight on my hands because I saw the power that Tommy had. The punishment he inflicted, it was unbelievable power. He was a beast at 147. An amazing physical specimen. Okay, that's what Sugar Ray said about Hearns leading into that fight. Okay? And remember, they both had been aware of each other even when they were amateur fighters. That's Hearns and Pepino Cuevas right there. Right? And here. Everybody knew that fight wasn't going the distance because I think Hearns going into the Cuevas fight had only two people that went the distance with him in his career. They both had him Hearns had like 31 fights then. And Pepino's had like almost 30. And only three people that went the distance with him, so they knew it was going to be a stoppage. And Hearns got Cuevas out of it. Right, 2 rounds. Okay. And Sugar Ray was very impressed by that. Meanwhile, Hearns knew that he needed perfect mind and body preparation to emerge victorious against Sugar Ray. It was great news when I found out I was going to face Ray. To fight Ray Leonard was an honor. He was an Olympic champion, a gold medalist, and I knew he was going to have a great career ahead of him. I wanted this fight and wanted to be at my best. This is Hearns talking. I was very positive about the fight, but I felt like an underdog. I felt like people didn't know enough about me. I felt like I had to go in there and defeat this man. Yeah, because Sugar Ray was the Olympic champion. Everybody knew who he was. A lot of people didn't know who Hearns was coming into that fight, but they knew afterwards. They knew who he was afterwards, for sure. Okay. So, a 25,000-seat outdoor arena at Caesar's Palace was the venue for one of the richest fights in boxing history. Ringside seats were $500, and buying them were celebrities like Jack Nicholson, John McEnroe, and Burt Reynolds. Yeah, this is 1982. Ringside seats were $500, and that's equivalent to $1,700 today. Okay, so if that fight was now, ringside seats for Sugar Ray and Tommy Hearns would be $1,700, right? Yeah, 582, $1,700 today. I checked this morning, so I can tell you all that, right? Okay, and your celebrity, Jack Nicholson, John McEnroe, the tennis, Jack Nicholson, the actor, John McEnroe, the tennis player, Burt Reynolds, another actor, all were in the house. Approximately 300 million people in 50 countries watched Hearns versus Leonard on live closed circuit television or tape delay. Yeah, this was truly a super fight. Yeah. We were both self-assured and cocky, recalls Leonard. The weigh-in was shocking. I weighed in at 146. Tommy weighed in at 145. And it got my attention that he was so light. I looked at him at the weigh-in and said, I'm going to kick his ass. That was Leonard. Now here's Hearns. Ray tried to get under your skin to get you crazy, says Hearns. I was getting tired of him trying that. And really, the way he would say things motivated me. Afterwards, some wondered if Hearns had been too late after the fight. Some wondered if Hearns had came in too late and perhaps overtrained. But Hearns sees that as a non-factor. When I trained, the weight just dropped off me. It was never a struggle to make 147 or any weight. The weight would just drop right off. Because he probably walked around, and he did walk around at his optimum weight. You know, you walk around at your optimum weight when you're not training. When you go in training, you ain't got to worry about wasting time losing weight. The weight gonna come off just through the natural process of training. You know, if you walk around at your optimum weight, like Hearns evidently did, because he said when he's training, the weight just dropped off. You know, yeah. Okay, so there you go. Part of the promotion for the fight, right there. Technique, what's up, Technique? Yeah, Jack Nicholson, yeah. And Bruce Gas, boxing, jazz, and more. Yeah, Jack Nicholson is a big basketball fan too, and a boxing fan. Yeah. Yep. The salute Technique and Bruce Gas. We was talking about just the aftermath, like the Hearns and Leonard fight, what they said about it and everything. Yeah, that's all. All about the Hitman today. We looked at Hagler yesterday. We're gonna look at Sugar Ray and Roberto the Red next week. Roberto is last. Say the best for last, right? Yeah, I'm biased. Okay. Yeah, there they are. Posing in the promotion, leading up to the fight and everything. Now Leonard's strategy coming into the fight was to outbox Hearns, make him uncomfortable, and weigh him down. For example, Leonard wanted to get Hearns to move to his left, which would force the Hitman to exert extra energy in order to get in a position to do his powerful right hand. Now, since Hearns' stamina was still a question mark heading into this fight, Leonard wanted to make him work every minute of every round. Leonard had intended to test both his opponent's endurance and his chin. Right? Meanwhile, Hearns planned on moving forward behind his long left jab to control the flow of the fight. He felt he could outpoint Leonard with the jab and also keep him off balance, right? The idea was that Sugar Ray would have to think about the jab every time he tried to throw shots, which would keep his punch output low. Hearns would then feed off of the jab while following up with that lethal right hand and left hooks before Leonard could respond. Now the result was a tight, intense tactical contest in the early rounds. Neither man having a substantial advantage. I was boxing, says Leonard, slipping and sliding. I touched him on the forehead and I said, I got you. I knew I would play with him and make him miss. I kept him off balance, but he was so quick, especially with the jab. He was difficult to set up. He was tall and rangy and gifted. Yeah, there they go right there, exchanging jab during the fight. Like I was saying, during that fight, Hearns' jab actually gave Sugar Ray a lot of trouble. Yes, it did. And Hearns outboxed Sugar Ray during that fight. Yes, he did. But he just got caught in that 13th round, and then he didn't cover between. Well, we're going to get to it. Okay, so anyway, this is Hearns talking. Hearns said, I was a boxer puncher in the ring, and I mixed it up, recalls Hearns. My jab meant a lot to me at the start of the fight. My jab was torture to opponents. When you think about throwing my jab, when opponents thought about throwing, my jab was in their face. People had trouble getting through to hit me. My jab made me tough to beat, right? Now, all three judges scored all but one of the first 5 rounds for Hearns. So the judges gave Hearns 4 of the first 5 rounds. Hearns was able to land enough of those sharp jabs while largely moving forward to control the distance and tempo of the fight through the first 5 rounds. Now, round 4 was a great example of this, as Hearns landed multiple jabs as well as a hook to the body that got Leonard's attention. Leonard was competitive, but reaching and pawing, while his left eye was already beginning to swell. In the 5th round, Hearns continued to land the jab, and Leonard went back to his corner at the end of the round, visibly frustrated into the 5th round. And remember, that all 3 judges gave Hearns 4 of the first 5 rounds. But the momentum was about to shift dramatically in round 6. Okay, that's when the roles switched. Leonard became the pursuer. Hearns became the boxer all of a sudden. Now, Leonard landed a right to start off round 6, as Hearns snapped home jabs to the body and head. As the confident Hearns moved forward, curling his left hand low, Leonard ducked under Hearns' overhand right and crashed home a powerful left that buckled Tommy's leg. Ray followed up with a 2-fisted assault, and Hearns fought back valiantly, but it was Sugar Ray connecting with the punishing blows, most of them left hooks to both body and head. At the bell, Hearns' back was to the ropes, and he was holding on to survive. Leonard would go on to win the next 2 rounds and seemingly take full control of the fight. In the middle round, got to the middle round, Sugar Ray was starting to take over. His power came to the fore in the middle rounds. Leonard on hurting hands in the 6th round. This is what Sugar Ray said about that 6th round. I hit him with a hook. That changed everything. I remember the fight verbatim. And after that, he changed the way he fought. That's when he showed his boxing ability. He started moving so well, and my left eye was closing slowly but surely. Hearns said about the middle round. He caught me with a couple of good shots. It was a back and forth fight. No, Tommy, he caught you with more than a couple of good shots in those middle rounds. I saw it. Now, following the instructions of his training manual, Stewart, the boxer they called the Motor City Cobra changed his tactics. But according to Hearns, this was something they had anticipated might be necessary. We knew how to adjust during a fight by trying to exploit the other boxer's vulnerability. We had worked on that, so I made the adjustment and was able to come back. Starting in round 9, Hearns was effective using the ring and boxing from the outside, connecting with the jab on Leonard's left eye, as well as landing hooks and right hands to the body. It was another abrupt change in the progression of the fight. And suddenly, Hearns was the more effective of the 2, as he won the next 4 rounds. By the end of round 12, Hearns appeared in control, while Leonard desperately needed to turn things around. Sugar Ray had only 3 rounds to regain the momentum, and he had to dig deep to find a way to do it. That's when things got very interesting. Leonard had to dig deep to find a way after round 12. He had 13, 14, and 15. And it was almost in need of knockout territory by then. Yep. Okay. So that's a nice painting by Damian Burke, like a sports artist. Okay. So Leonard was almost in needing a knockout territory. And this is what he said, what motivated him after that 12th round. Leonard said, Tommy was landing more punches than I was. Fighters know when they're losing, and I knew he was ahead. I looked into the audience for someone I could feed off of, and I saw Muhammad Ali at ringside. I used him to inspire me in the fight. Tommy was getting the best of me, but I was getting the best out of him too. I think our ability to rise to the occasion was special. So Sugar Ray said he looked in the audience for somebody to inspire him and saw Muhammad Ali. Wow. Oh, you got, I thought you said you had that. Oh, you love that painting. Okay, you found only one. Yeah, Damian Burke, he do a lot of painting of athletes, not just boxers, athletes. Yeah. Okay. So as round 13 began, Leonard's left eye was almost completely closed. But midway through the round, Sugar Ray landed a monster right hand that had Hearns reeling across the ring. Leonard followed up with an extraordinary flurry of right and left that sent Hearns through the ropes. But referee Davy Pearl did not rule it a knockdown and allowed the fight to continue. Hearns managed to score with a right and left, but Leonard was walking through his punches now, and he landed a series of blows which left Hearns tangled in the ropes once again. This time, Pearl ruled it a knockdown, and as the round ended, Hearns stumbled back to his corner. Okay, and Hearns did not recover between rounds. And when round 14 began, Leonard came off his stool like he was shot out of a cannon. He literally ran at full speed across the ring when the bell rang in round 14. Now, still behind on the judges' scorecards, Leonard came out for round 14, determined to end the fight. A vicious right hand to the body hurt Hearns, and then one to the head put Tommy in a world of trouble. Leonard continued to dominate, landing shots at will until referee Davy Pearl finally stopped the fight, with Hearns back to the ropes. The crowd roared as an exhausted but jubilant Sugar Ray Leonard was embraced by his team. Yep. Yeah. There's Leonard. Okay. Now Leonard on the end of the fight, that's what Sugar Ray said. When I hurt a guy, I go for it. I remember I hit Tommy with a right hand to the body that really affected him. He would fall to the ropes, and I just kept going and landing more punches until finally the fight was stopped. Now Hearns said, on the loser end of such a highly anticipated battle, Hearns said, in the end, he got the better of me, but still, it was one of my best fights. I knew I was part of a great fight as I was fighting it. Ray always got me ready to give all I had. There was going to be some trouble when we fought. That was Hearns. Leonard and Hearns singled out their respective trainers, Angelo Dundee and Emmanuel Stewart, and both admitted that their cornermen were instrumental in shaping their careers. Okay, and there's Sugar Ray and the great Angelo Dundee right there. They both had legendary. All four of the four kings had great trainers. Dundee, Hearns, Emmanuel Stewart. Duran had the legendary Ray Arcel, and Hagler had the very underrated Petronelli brothers. Petronelli brothers didn't get their props because they didn't have a lot of, like, Angelo had Ali and Ray Arcel had other greats. Ray Arcel trained from way back in the 20s. And Emmanuel Stewart had that Kronk gym, and the Petronelli brothers didn't have a whole lot of big name fighters like the rest of them, but they were just as good trainers. They're very underrated. Hagler's trainer. And they had Hagler from day one. And many people, other trainers tried to pry Hagler away from him, but Hagler never said, no, I'm not leaving them. They were like the father figures. Hagler was raised in a single mother home, and the Petronelli brothers got him at a very young age. And he was the only trainer he ever had, right? So he never left. And Leonard on Angelo Dundee. Angelo was calmly telling me during the fight that I had to pick up the pace. He knew exactly how to give me advice. He never yelled or got me overexcited. Angelo knew what to do to put me in the best position to win. Now, Hearns on Emmanuel Stewart. Okay. Yeah, there is Hearns on Emmanuel Stewart. By the way. Yeah, there is Hearns on Emmanuel Stewart. Now, Hearns on Emmanuel Stewart. If there was no Manny Stewart, I wouldn't be the man I am today. Against Leonard, the first time I was pulling out early with my punches, Manny told me to pull out with my hands held high. I was doing wrong, and Manny taught me to do right. Their rivalry was a thing of beauty, one that each fighter knew was special. The separation between the two was so minimal that while both entered the ring with a game plan, neither had a clear sense of what was about to unfold. In 1989, they clashed again, this time for Leonard's WBC super middleweight belt. And a second action-packed war ended in a controversial draw. Yeah, earlier I said middleweight. Yeah, the second fight was at super middleweight. Okay, super middleweight. Yeah. Yes, yeah. Oh yeah, Stewart and Hearns already up there. Ring Magazine held their first meeting as 1981's Fight of the Year. And in 1996, they judged it to be one of the 10 greatest fights of all time. You know, all time is a wide range, right? One of the 10 greatest fights of all time. The fight featured so many dramatic twists and turns and so much suspense that to this day, it remains one of the all-time best battles in the history of the welterweight division. Okay? I think of the first fight like what Ali said about Frazier in their last fight, says Sugar Ray. Ali said, it was the closest thing to death I ever experienced. I could relate to what Ali went through because it took every ounce of my energy to beat Tommy. Our punches did all the talking, and that kind of fight takes so much out of you. When you get hit by a guy like Tommy Hearns, still Sugar Ray. When you get hit by a guy like Tommy Hearns, it's a question of how great do you want to be. Greatness is when you're staring at the ropes and you must decide how great you are going to be. Tommy was a monster in the ring. There wouldn't be a Sugar Ray Leonard if there wasn't a Tommy Hearns. He was the toughest without a doubt. This was the toughest fight I ever had. This is a great picture right here. I love this picture. Remember, I used to show it every day at the end of the show. That is a great picture. The Hagler had passed away by then. But I got another picture of Hagler, Hearns, and Emmanuel Stewart, later in their life after their careers before Hagler passed. Hagler, Hearns, and Emmanuel Stewart are standing right outside the Kronk gym in front of the sign. That's another great picture. I got that. That's a great picture right there. Sugar Ray, Roberto Ray, and Thomas Hearns. Yeah. Yeah, and they're all good friends now. Hearns on making history in his first fight with Sugar Ray Leonard. Ray has done very well for the sport. I was very happy that Ray was there. That both of us were there. We respected each other. It was a very special fight. I was blessed to be a part of it. Forever, I am part of this truly great fight. Yeah, I saw him talk about that in person one time on Hot Box with Mike Tyson. That was a great episode. That'd be one to pull up if you haven't seen that Hot Box with Mike Tyson when he had Sugar Ray Leonard. I think Shane Mosby. I don't know why Sugar Shane was even on there, but Sugar Shane was on there too that day. Now, over 4 decades later, it remains to this day a very special fight, a truly great fight. None other than Hearns. I'm still on this phone. I have people pulling people up for the link. Should I try it? Let's see. I've done it before. Very, but I do have something else. I got Hearns is considered to be the greatest junior middleweight. I mean, I got some other great junior middleweights too. But let's try this. It has everybody. It's Thursday afternoon. We're headed for the weekend. Right? It'll be here, tomorrow. Well, the weekend start on Thursday. Before I retire, my weekend always starts on Thursday. you know, I work 11 a lot of years. We got on Friday morning. That was it. Didn't go back till Sunday night, right? After the weekend started Friday morning. I'm gonna try this link. I'm looking for time if anybody come up, we might be in the back for the rest of the show. I'm warning you. Let's see. Yeah, I did it before. Okay. Oh, I got the wrong thing. Bear with me. Here we are. Your technique said Jack Nicholson. Yeah, he is. He's a big basketball. Remember, he used to be at all those Lakers games. Big, way back when Magic and Reed and Larry Bird and McHale and them on Boston. Jack Nicholson used to be at all the games back then. Remember? Way Jack Nicholson. Way back. Yeah. Yeah. My technique said a big boxing fan too. Jack. What movie was that one where he played the Marine officer? What was he said? He's up. I forgot to say it, but that was my favorite thing. I even forgot the name of it. He played the Marine officer, remember? One of the young Marines had died or something, trying to cover it up. Yeah. I don't know what the name of it was. But that was a good movie. Then we'll try this. We're gonna try it. Listen up all. Please. Oh shit. Oh, excuse me. Yeah, I was doing something wrong. I got it right now. 3:30. All right. And I had T Hill says no, it's just the YouTube feedback. You're here. Okay. What's up, Thomas Hill? Building. Okay, let's see. There's somebody in the back. Let's see. No. There we go. Okay, I got some other junior middleweights. Okay, that we can talk about. Because Tommy Hearns is thought to be one of the greatest junior middleweights of all time. You know. Okay. Let's see if we can get that going for us. Oh, okay, there's B3. Oh, yeah, I know how to do it. What's up, B3?
What's going on, Cass? Can you hear me?
Yeah, loud and clear. Yeah, on the phone, I always had trouble bringing people up, but it's easy. What's going
Uh,
on? What's up with you
just
today?
checking the link, man. Listen, another great day. Always giving thanks, man. Just had a great live today, and just wanted to pull up on you, man. See what the topic of conversation is.
Yeah, we was mainly talking about the Hitman today, that's all.
Mm-hmm.
Thomas
Yeah.
Four Kings type stuff, yeah. I'm gonna take a look at each of the four kings over the next few days. I did Hagler yesterday. Yeah, you
Now,
know.
now I gotta ask you, being that this is the Terrence Bud Crawford era, and
Hmm.
your opinion, how would Terrence Bud Crawford fare against the Four Kings?
You know, I always said about Crawford, he's a boxer that could compete in any era. You know,
Yeah,
and each era is different, but Bud would be able to make the adjustments and compete with him. You know,
absolutely.
in any era, and any given night, I would say he could beat any of them. I wouldn't favor him, but I wouldn't be surprised if he didn't come out victorious either. Because Bud is a bad man. You know.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Hitman Hearns, he was dangerous.
Yeah.
All those guys were dangerous, man.
The Hitman, he was just a freak at welterweight, man. He had all that height and reach. I don't think he ever fought a fight at welterweight where he didn't have a substantial height and reach advantage. You know, the man had like an 80-something inch reach fighting at welterweight.
Hmm.
So
Now let
that's
me. Who's considered the greatest welterweight of all time?
Sugar Ray Robinson, I would say.
Hmm.
Who would you answer that with, B3? Greatest
Uh,
welterweight.
yeah, it would be Sugar Ray for me. Sugar Ray Robinson,
Yeah.
and then after that, I would have to put Mayweather.
Yeah, Florida's up there.
But
You
what
gotta
and
give him
well,
props.
and I say he's up there. But then you got to consider welterweight. Floyd did a lot of his work as Pretty Boy, but
Yeah,
he started campaigning his money Mayweather at welterweight. So I
yeah.
think I'll be honest with you. A lot people don't look at the details a lot. They just look at the box rec or watch the fights. And
Mm-hmm.
if you and when living through the Mayweather era, I understood that he had hand injuries or brittle hands.
Yes, he
So he
did.
couldn't punch like he did when he was at the smaller weights when he was Pretty Boy. So
That's true.
I don't take nothing away from him as a fighter. I just say it's two different Mayweathers.
Yeah, and kind of like that's like Ali a little bit, where he came back in his second career. He was older. He missed all that time. It wasn't the same, but still dominated. And you got to look at Floyd with his hands. He still dominated too, though. You know, still
100%.
was at the top with the bad
100%.
hands. You know.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, Floyd definitely is solidified. But it's a great. I think every like you say, and the salute to the OG Crush.
And
And he
crushing
had a
it, baby.
nice. Well, he had a nice
Oh.
short where he talked about how
Hmm.
it's hard. You don't compare the eras, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
'Cause,
Crush
like
always
those
said
guys,
that. That's a good
I
point.
looked at Henry Armstrong resume,
Hmm.
and at the end of his career, I think he had like 14 or 15 fights
Yeah,
in a year. You know what I'm saying?
I know.
So,
At
and I
the
think I was
end.
like 44. So
Yeah.
that was at the end of his career. So I mean,
Right.
these guys, it's a totally different ball game.
Totally different, man. And they had to fight like that back then because they would just to make money. Because you had to fight a lot, you know, because you wasn't getting them big $1 million paydays and stuff back then, you know. You had to
100%.
be a real big name to really make money out of boxing, like a Joe Louis or a Sugar Ray, something like that, you know.
Now let me ask you this: Did because they was taxing Muhammad Ali
Hmm.
a lot? Was Joe Lewis? Was he able to be the guy? Was he able to like be a rich man? You know what I'm saying?
No, no.
Yeah.
His handlers really robbed him. He ended up
Mm,
on the IRS money. That's
mm,
why he had to fight Rocky Marciano, come back. And Rocky
right.
didn't want to fight him, but Rocky knew he could help Joe Louis make some money to pay
Right.
off that IRS debt. That's the only reason Rocky gave him that fight, man, because he didn't want to fight. That was his idol. So yeah, Joe had major financial troubles, B3, during his career. Yeah, his handlers was robbing him, man. Hmm.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah, and them guys, especially back then, they wasn't well educated and stuff. They just put their trust and their money in other people, man, and people took advantage of it. Cause you like, how could Joe Louis be broke on the IRS money, all
Yeah.
the money he made? He was one of the few back then that was making that kind of money, B3, It took a
Right.
name like him to make that kind of money. And they was cheating him. This guy named Mike Jacobs was his first manager, and Joe Louis ended up hating him. They started their international boxing club with the mafia run thing, right?
Yeah.
And they got Joe Louis to sign up with him, used his name on it because they said they was gonna go up against Mike Jacobs, and that's why Joe Louis didn't even realize it was mafia backing like that at first. But he just knew they was going against Mike Jacobs, who he didn't like because Mike Jacobs had robbed him, so that's why he signed on with him. Yep, the International Boxing Club. Yeah. But yeah, to answer your question, yeah, Joe Louis made the money, but he was like broke at the end of his career. Hmm.
Man, so let me ask you this about Sugar Ray Robinson. Was he able to live like like a wealthy man, like well off comfortably?
Not at the end. He made the
Hmm.
money and everything, but he blew it. He was the one started that big entourage thing. He would take all
Mm.
these people everywhere he would go. You know, he went to Paris on a tour, some fights over there one time, a group of fights, and had his pink Cadillac taken over on the boat with him and everything, man, and all these people and stuff. He just splurged
Wow.
too much, and by the end of his career, he didn't have much left either. Mm-mm.
And see, and that's kind of Mayweather probably knows that. You remember when Mayweather ended his career, he said he was going to cut a lot of his entourage.
Yeah, Sugar Ray was the one really started that big entourage thing. Yep.
Hmm.
He was on a ship one time going to Paris and had all those people with him. And they heard two workers on the ship talking, and one was telling the other, was asking, who's all these black people on the boat? And here the other guy telling, oh, the big entourage is Sugar Ray. All these black people is part of Sugar Ray Roberts' entourage. And he started loving that term. And he demanded all the media to call his people an entourage after that and everything. Yeah. That was just a
Oh,
little
that's funny.
story. Hmm.
That's
But
cool.
yeah,
Now, like as far as okay, so for instance, what about Rocky Marciano? Was he able to live comfortably? Did he keep a lot of his money?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, and then Rocky died young in that plane crash too. You know, he
Yeah.
was like 40s. Yeah, but he was in pretty good shape when he passed away. He was smart with his money and everything. You know, he had good backers and all that.
Hmm.
Whereas he managed it well. Well, he was getting robbed one time by his man. That's why Rocky gave up boxing because he
Oh
said, "I'm not
wow.
making y'all another penny." You know, and got out of his contract. And then he went around speaking and stuff, and he kept all that money was his because when he stopped boxing, he was out of that contract. You know, that's why
Hmm.
Rocky said, "I'm quitting. I'm not making you another penny," because they was trying to rob Rocky too. But
Wow.
he wasn't too bad when he died. He died young in that plane crash and everything. That was sad. They was up there with an inexperienced pilot. You know, flying at night. He didn't even have the
Hmm.
hours you you supposed to have to be flying around an airplane at night and stuff, man. Yeah, yeah.
Now,
Go ahead, B3.
this is just a totally different era,
Yeah,
and it's funny that in this era, right, or to kind of have the foresight, we these guys have the experience to see, like, look on the past guys, look how they handle
yeah,
their situations, and that's why Errol
exactly.
Spence Errol Spence said, y'all kind of forget what this is really for. It's really to make the money. So when he says that he looking for a comeback fight, he gonna fight now because he don't want to come back and get a fraction of what he could get now. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying? And it's interesting that, like, for instance, you don't get those checks forever. And we see even AB is trying to come back,
I know.
but he's
I heard
struggling.
that.
He's
I
struggling, but
heard that.
you know what I'm saying? It's if he would have had the right financial advisor,
Yeah,
he wouldn't
that's
need to
true.
come back.
And that's the
But
thing, B3. A lot of these guys nowadays ain't trusting their money to anybody like them guys did back in the old days. They
yeah,
keeping it closer and got better people around them nowadays. You know.
yeah.
Yeah.
See, but and I will, and let me say this though, because I know from word of mouth that
Mm-hmm.
Al and the team, they definitely tried to help AB as much as possible. But
I know. Yeah.
you can only do but so much. You giving them a
Right. Right.
stipend. At the end of the day,
Right.
the money's going to run out if you're not consistently fighting. Now, if AB would have rematched Maidana and beat Maidana in a rematch, and then
Mm-hmm.
been able to continue that trajectory of pursuing a Mayweather route, you know what I'm saying, and being like a
Yeah.
face of boxing, I
Mm-hmm.
think I think AB would still be in a good position. But
Yeah. He would have been okay.
he took that loss. It was a tough loss. He never was able to reclaim that in the ring,
He sure
and
wasn't.
then he ended up losing a few other times. But needless to say, like, when you fight a Pac-Man,
Mm-hmm.
AB should still have bread. You know what I'm saying?
From that,
Hopefully, yeah.
yeah,
Just from that fight alone, like
yeah,
he
yep,
He
yep.
took his talent for granted, I think, personally.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
salute, define irony.
What's up,
Yeah.
Define on it?
Get in
How you
on
guys
this.
doing?
Okay.
Oh, no, go
Define
ahead. I'm
on
sorry.
it. Now, what
Yep.
was your live on that? You said you did your first live last night.
Yeah, and
What was
can
it
you?
on? What was the subject of it?
Oh, I went into the fights of the weekend and
Okay. Yeah.
talk about some upcoming fights, who I
Right.
got, what I think, and I just went
Okay.
into some of my favorite fighters, past and present,
Yeah.
just like an overall type. I didn't even know. I was like, you know what? Let's just do this. I'm
Yeah. That's how you
overthinking.
do
Let's
it.
just
Yeah.
yeah. I just
Right.
I just went for it, bro. And I thought it was
Mhm.
like 40 some minutes, bro. It was like over 1 hour and 30 minutes. I was like, man, I went on and on.
Yeah. Time will pass by. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
But that's
bro.
how you do it. You just get on there and start talking, man, and
Yeah, for sure.
and then you
Uh,
get any idea when you're gonna come on again?
yeah, I'm gonna try to do this
Right.
every day.
What time?
It depends. Mostly it's gonna
Okay.
be evening time.
Okay.
BVO type of schedule, or maybe even a little bit later than.
Yeah.
I mean, it depends. It all
I'm gonna try
depends.
to catch you today. Did you do any link time last night or anything like that? No.
No, no.
Okay.
That's one thing that I'm trying to. You know how you put up StreamYard? You just put the link that you have on StreamYard on the chat, or how do you do that?
Yeah. You hit
Okay. Okay.
invite, and it'll show you the link.
Okay. Okay. Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, I'll
It'll
definitely
be
do
right at
that.
the bottom of your screen. Right. We might can
Oh,
explain it better than me, but that's how you get to it.
No,
Yeah.
you that's right.
okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you just hit
Okay.
invite guests and the link will pop up.
I
Mm-hmm.
appreciate it.
Yeah.
I love your
Yeah.
question, B3, about Bud Crawford and the Four Kings. And you were saying something about what were you saying about Joe Louis and Rocky? I didn't catch
Yeah,
that part.
he got in trouble with the IRS, Joe Lewis, because his people was cheating him
Oh
out of his
yeah,
money and stuff. Remember? And then
yeah,
Rocky didn't really want to fight him. That was his idol, but he knew that a fight with him would make Joe Lewis a good purse. Would help
yeah.
him out with his tax fee and everything. So he fought him.
Rocky respected him so much that he
Yeah,
actually apologized to him after the fight.
yeah, he did.
You know?
He went to his dressing room, man. Him and Sugar Ray Robinson and I think it was some kind. I
He
forgot
felt
the
really
jazz
bad.
musician's name was in there. Yeah, they was all in his locker room.
Joe
He,
Louis
he-
was consoling him. Can you believe that? Joe Louis was consoling Rocky Marciano. He
yeah,
felt
ain't
so
that?
bad.
You would have thought it would have been the other way around. Yeah,
I love me some Rocky Marciano, bro. That talk about conducting yourself as a stand-up guy, like all the way
yeah,
around, like an Andre Ward or Alexis
hmm
Arguello, guys
yeah,
just conducting themselves like as gentlemen. I understand this
yeah,
is a sport for the black sheep. This is a sport for the black sheep. I know
yeah.
that,
Boxing for sure. It
but
was sad Rocky had to die so young, though. He
no,
didn't
that
get to
sucks, man. Yeah.
be like a senior citizen of the sport and be seen at fights and stuff as he aged. He never got to do that.
The most tragic of them all is Salvador Sanchez, because at least Rocky had a career. Salvador Sanchez,
Oh
had the accident at
yeah,
23, bro.
23. That was crazy.
That was bad.
And look how
Uh,
well he's still thought of in boxing. Just think if he would have went up into his prime and stuff, man. Wow,
oh my goodness!
unimaginable what he would have been.
Yes.
Woo.
And at 23, he had almost 50 wins. So
He in the
just
Hall of
imagine.
Fame too.
Yeah.
In the Hall of Fame too. Yup. At 23, man. And there's BBO. What's up, BBO?
Uncle Cash, what's up, man?
Not too much. How are you today, bro?
I'm doing good, man. A little
That's
sad that
good.
we lost to Bud, but I'm all right, man.
Yeah, I had Canelo too. But it's all good. Bud is a
Yeah.
bad man. I got to give it to him,
You still
BBO.
licking your wounds, BVO?
Say it again.
You still licking your wounds?
Hey, I'm gonna sing you. I'm gonna call Ice and sing your West Indian tail back. You better be quiet.
See,
Talking to
you got
Americans like that. Show some respect.
see, you got me mixed up with Marky now. See, there you go. All blacks look alike.
They
Hey,
absolutely do.
BBO,
But
that's the
go ahead.
thing on Hagler yesterday, but hey, was ducked and everything that you was asking about.
Yeah, I watched that. That was,
You
you
did
know what's
okay.
funny? The thing about that whole situation is, I believe Marvin had to go to court, man, to get that
Mm.
rectified. That's
Yeah,
crazy.
that's what I mean um Mad Chad was saying. He was in here yesterday.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because they got it. Like what they got on Wikipedia is kind of incorrect, like what they
yeah.
say. Because I don't know the actual facts, but I remember Carl King. I got to get him on your show one day. He was telling me
Carl
that
King.
he had
He related to
Marvin.
Don King, right? What is his brother or something? Son?
No, it's his stepson.
Oh, stepson. Right, right. I knew it was
Yeah,
something. Let's go ahead,
I don't
BBL.
believe Don ever had his own children. I don't believe so.
No, I don't think he did.
I
I
think
don't
he
think
took
he
care
did.
of Carl and his sister as his own, pretty much.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So
Now, finish. What was you saying though?
no,
You
I
was
was
talking about
saying that
Carl King.
the stuff you hear about Marvin, man, that could be a movie in itself, his whole
I
career.
know.
But
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
um,
absolutely.
he went through it all, man. But you know the funny thing about it,
Mm-hmm.
I still give Leonard credit for giving him the fight because he didn't have to. He didn't have to. He ain't had to fight. He ain't had to fight him, but he still did. Even though he beat him from head to toe, it still was a good fight. But my favorite line was when Hagler said he did. I couldn't get the fight for 15 rounds because the B wouldn't sign the contract.
But you know what's funny about that situation? He was
What's
ducked
that?
by three main people, right? And every time they ducked Hagler and fought somebody else, they got beat by
Hey
the person
man,
they ducked him for. That was
God don't play,
karma,
man.
you know?
I heard y'all talk about Salvador Sanchez, but one thing we got to remember: Salvador
Yeah,
had 44 fights. It wasn't like he
yeah.
wasn't fighting.
He
Right,
started like what,
right.
15 or something like
Yeah,
that?
he was fighting, dog.
Yeah, he had a lot of
He
fights.
beat Wilfredo Gomez, who had a 100% knockout ratio, 32-0 with 32 KOs at 122, bro. That's unheard of.
Yeah.
You know, a fight I wish him and Roberto Duran could have fought. I know that was gonna happen one day. That
Who's
would have
that?
been a good fight.
Salvador?
Salvador.
Salvador got him.
Yeah,
Salvador got him.
because
Right.
Roberto
Yeah,
was down there like 130. Salvador would have got to 135 too if he'd have lived. He was right in that time too, BBO, you know?
yeah,
That would have been a good one there.
yeah.
And
You
I
said he
you
would.
know
I
You
think
what?
said he would have
Salvador would have
stopped.
stopped. He would have stopped Duran, though. To be honest
I
You
with
know
you.
think
what?
so
When he
too.
passed
I think so
away,
too.
you know who he was getting ready to sign the fight?
Who?
Alexis Arguello.
Oh yeah.
When he passed
Arguello was a
away.
beast, man.
Yeah,
He was a
Salvador was
beast.
going to fight him. Yep.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, you're absolutely right.
hmm
After the Asuma
That
Nelson
would
fight,
have
yeah, I
that
remember
would have
that.
been a battle there. Who would you pick in that one? Who would
Oh
y'all pick?
man, you're talking
Him and
about
I
Arguello.
would pick. I would pick Arguello because of the
Arguello.
experience.
I don't
Yeah,
know,
Because of the
that's
man.
true.
experience.
I don't know.
He
To
was
be
a
honest.
little older, but that would have been a battle. And that would have been a good fight
Hey,
right
let me
there.
ask y'all this real quick. Who would y'all pick between Pastor Ward and Bud? Who you think will win in '68?
Hmm.
Who?
Man,
Andre
Uh,
Ward. I'm taking Andre Ward.
I got
Oh,
to think about that
Andre
one.
Ward and Bud Crawford. No, I think Andre Ward
68.
just on the size alone.
I don't
Yeah.
know.
I think
It's hard
Crawford
to
would
pick
beat him to
against
death,
Bud
man.
though, cause Bud one of them kind like he gonna find a way, man. You know. I ain't
You think
saying he
he's
would
Yes.
that
win it, but
special?
it's
Yes.
gonna be tough. It would be a good tough fight. Who
Andre
you
Ward.
take,
Andre
BBL?
Ward is that. Andre Ward is that same animal though. He gonna find a
That's
way.
true.
You
That's
seen what
true,
happened
That's
with
bro.
true.
Crusher, a prime
That's
Crusher.
true. That's true.
Yeah.
Who would you pick,
Where they
BBL,
robbed
between them
Kovalev
two?
that first fight, man? Please tell the truth.
Against Ward?
I
Yeah,
know,
I thought Kovalev
but
was the first one.
you from Russia
Yeah.
though,
Nah,
BBO. So I
nah,
expect
he
you to say
definitely
that.
didn't win that
What
first
you
one, man.
say? T Hill said who you got had Ward, TVO, T Hill.
Well, I don't suffer from recency bias, nor do I suffer from old times disease, man. I suffer from what I see in the ring, bro. And in the
Yeah.
ring, dog, that first fight with Kovalev was winning, but at the end of the fight, stuff
Mm-hmm.
that was working was no longer working, and he had him flustered. The reason why they did not award Canelo this fight is because of the
Mm-hmm.
way Crawford continued to ascend his game and to get him discombobulated. The same thing was happening in that first Ward fight. Now, early on, Kovalev did some fantastic work. In
No,
truth,
man. Crawford beat Canelo. He beat the tacos out of Canelo. What was you watching? That fight wasn't
I
even
was watching
close.
the fight. I would
That
say
fight
that
wasn't
the
even
first
close.
5 rounds were
Kovalev put
very,
Andre
very,
Ward in his
very
pockets, man, and he
close.
still cheated him.
What
You said
was it?
what?
The split or unanimous decision? What was the decision?
Split.
Split.
Let me look
I
it up.
thought Kovalev had banked a lot of rounds early, though.
Yeah,
I thought he might
Kovalev
have had enough
definitely
to
did,
fill out.
They
but what
robbed him,
happened
man.
was, like I say, man, a lot of times we don't see the nuance and the fighting things that the other fighter is doing. I mean, that was the
Hmm.
difference in this fight with Bud. Bud was
Yeah,
doing things that was causing him to be off balance. He was doing things that was causing him to not doubt whether or not if I throw this punch, will it land, and if it don't land, what's going to happen in return. He didn't get
right.
hurt. He got
TL, let me say this.
confused.
Can
Go
I?
ahead.
Andre Ward beat Kovalev on all three scorecards, 114,
Oh, it was
113.
undisputed. It was
In the first fight,
damn.
B3.
Yeah, first fight was
Yep.
114, 113, all three judges. So
All three
one
of them.
point.
Damn.
1 point.
What a
Mm.
Crazy.
robbery, man.
But
Mm.
I'll say this, man. As far as the Crawford and Ward fight, I would favor Ward.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I think
You
Ward
a
does.
favorite Pastor Ward?
Pastor Ward.
Yeah, I
Hey,
believe he
y'all
does.
can subscribe to Define Artie One. Got his channel now too.
Yeah, he was
Up
talking
and
about it
running.
on the good Doctor Boxing Talk, man. Shout out to Doctor Boxing Talk, man. He was talking about putting it together, and he went ahead and did it, bro.
Yeah.
Yes,
But
sir.
yeah, congratulations to you too, player. And yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna take away from what Crawford did, man,
Mm-hmm.
or take away from who he fought. I mean, I just will say that not too long ago, we had Spence fighting this fight, and many of us said we think Spence would win. It's just amazing how
Yeah.
when Crawford went there, everybody said, "Nah, it's just too much."
Yep.
And
I was
that's because
wrong
how
both
we feel
times.
about people.
I'll be honest, man. The snack program works. Shout out to Victor Conti.
It definitely has an effect. I agree with that, but his skill program works too, and that boy had skill, and his team put together a game plan, and Canelo, unfortunately, he thought that I'm bigger and I've been used to fighting bigger dudes and I hit
Yeah.
harder, and he
That's
thought
what I
that would
thought
be
too.
enough.
I'm
He
gonna tell you
never.
guys something that people don't realize about Canelo. He's been on a decline the last 3 years. The thing is, he's been moved so well that you didn't realize that knee is not the same.
Yep.
His
Mm-hmm.
up his upper
A lot
body
of
movement.
fights.
That's the first time we've seen that in years in this Crawford fight.
Mm-hmm.
He just beat the hell. He been fighting since 15, man.
Yeah. That was a 67 fight too, BBO.
Yeah.
Almost
And
70 fights.
you didn't really see the wares of that until like the seventh round, the eighth round. Then the ninth round came along. Crawford gave his last hurrah. I mean, Canelo gave his last hurrah, and Crawford met it at the end. And then from that point forward, it was like he was just confused and flustered,
It was
dog. And
over.
I
Yeah.
don't know what
he
happened
knew.
to
It was,
Canelo's knee, but his knee, I don't know how his knee just got so bad. His knee is horrible now.
was from all those hamburgers that he was eating early in his career, BBO.
Okay.
B3 for going out there and throwing his spin on it. But I mean, whatever happened, it don't take away from what Crawford did, man, and it don't take away from the champion that he has been, bro. And
Yeah.
it's a monumentous occasion, but at the same time,
Are you sure about that? You sure that his performance wasn't enhanced from Snack?
even if it
I
was, bro,
mean,
like
I'm not gonna
my
put that.
performance can be enhanced from Snack, dog. I can
Come
get in
on now.
I can go on the baseball field, and if a nigga like
No.
Maddox throw a pitch at me, I'm getting that whiff, dog. You
Yeah.
still got to be able to put the bat on the ball, dog, and he still got to be able to put the punch on the body, and then on top of that, he got to block those punches, and that's what Canelo didn't expect. He didn't think that he would be able to not catch him because Madripour was catching him. Madripour
Yeah.
was hitting him. And he figured, well, if Madripour can land clean on him, if I land clean on him, it's night.
I
Now,
never
Yeah.
bought that though. I never bought that the Madrimov because you look at Madrimov's completely different style and much quicker. I'm not saying Madrimov's better than Canelo. I'm just saying from a style perspective, I can see Madrimov giving Crawford way more trouble than Canelo. It's just a style thing, I'm sorry. Go ahead, T.
I
Define
understand, but
Artie
now
One.
let me ask you this. If you're Canelo Alvarez, matter of
Mm-hmm.
fact, boxing centers mostly around you, and you see somebody like a Madrimov, as quick as he is, as elusive as he is, doing that to Crawford, you think that, hey, yo, man, if this ninja can't do it, and I know me, Canelo, I ain't got a shot at doing it.
I mean,
Ego play a fact, and his ego was in the ring that night, and his ego got humiliated and humbled at that time. But I'll say this: Crawford did say he didn't get hit hard. That's just a lie.
Yeah,
I saw Crawford get hit and his whole body move all over the place. He just was
yeah.
catching them.
Yeah,
And if
Canelo got
them,
something on.
yeah, if not, he just didn't hit him flush. If he would have hit him
Yeah,
flush, he probably would have
yeah.
made a
Yeah, he
difference.
admitted that. He said he couldn't.
Buried it.
Yeah, he did admit. He was honest about that.
Yeah,
He
he
was
was
honest.
burying that
Uncle
over his
Cat,
life.
did you see that there was ice in Crawford's arms because that Rocky Marciano stuff didn't work?
Only thing
No.
I saw that I
Don't
mean,
get
Yeah, I
if
saw
ice.
him.
Yeah.
the only thing I saw that I would, if I was an opponent, I would take offense to. Now, when you in that ring, at no point in time are you supposed to touch a fighter's gloves. And every round, they were rubbing Crawford's gloves. Now, I would have took offense to that
Mm.
because you're not supposed to touch their gloves.
You think he had that
Wow.
them blow up gloves on again?
Nah, I just think that that's something that is kind of suspicious. You're not supposed to be touching people's
Not
gloves.
supposed to do that. Yeah, they should have said something about that. You
Cause you,
know.
cause you could be moving the padding around T Hill. Is that what you're saying?
Nah, because he was
Like
just
putting
wiping it
something
down with
on
a
them.
towel. But what if you got some
Yeah,
substance on that towel?
Oh,
that's
okay.
what I
You know,
was
you
saying.
know
And
what I
that,
think it is,
Like
Uncle Cash.
Sonny
I think
Liston
that
did.
I think Canelo's like Joe Lewis because he don't got much of a personality, man. He never gonna get his just due. That's
Well,
just
he,
what it
Come
is.
on,
well, he,
Just like
he
they did
well,
Joe
that's
just
Lewis.
from
like
Joe.
you made mention of that fight, Arguello and Salvador Sanchez, a
Hmm.
great
Yeah.
fight because
Oh
Mm-hmm.
man,
Arguello is a great fighter, and a lot of people don't, give him credit because he had that
I
one
know
fight
about that.
against Pryor, where Pryor was
yeah,
given a substance, and that
Mm-hmm.
substance
yep,
was seeming to give him energy because he was getting tagged all night, but he just would not stop.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
you looking at the water bottle, you don't think nothing's wrong with it or whatever the case may be. You just think that, hey, wasn't it? No, don't give me that bottle. Give me the other bottle.
Yeah,
When I
the one that I
mixed up.
mixed. Give me the one that I
Yeah.
mixed. Yeah,
The
Right.
one that I mixed, right? So who's to say that? And I'm not saying that took place, but who's to say that you wiping it down, but on that wipe down, you got something on there that's like affecting me as a fighter. So that's why I would say I would be hesitant about any fighter that's getting their gloves touched on
Yeah.
and
I don't know why they
manipulated
didn't
while we in a
address
fight.
that. You know. I don't know why they didn't do some of
Because
that.
I told you, he
They
didn't
had
think
to
that he
see
was
it.
going to be able to take his punch. And
that was
Bud
a
was
mission
catching
from
every
the
single
beginning.
punch.
You know?
Now, and let's just be honest. To suggest that Crawford has Victor Conti and Snack, and Canelo being the face of boxing, he
Mm-hmm.
definitely has his own nutrition supplemental team to make sure his performance is at the top level. So
Oh, for
I
sure.
don't want to sit up here and just put it on Crawford.
Nah,
Uh,
I'm not putting it on Crawford.
Canelo
I was
has
just
talked
saying,
dirty before, more than once.
I
But
just said
yeah.
that the only thing that I would have been skeptical of was that fact because you're
Hey
not
B3,
supposed
you
to
know
do that.
all I can say is this, man. You a real mighty cone for saying this, but you still my brother, man. I love you.
Hey, I know that, and I know you're gonna hold Canelo's water, until the end of time. So
But one
I
thing for
support you.
certain, you couldn't give him that fight because he tapped out. He visibly tapped out in that fight,
Mm-hmm.
and you
And
couldn't
let,
have
let me
worked it.
ask
They
you
Oh,
a
he
stopped
fine
yeah
him.
Arnie
yeah
this.
he quit. I mean, he pretty much. I mean, he gave up. BBO.
Let, let me ask you fine Arnie something. This is the first time I talked to him since the fight. What next for Crawford define Arnie when you're a big Crawford fan? What should he do next?
what I like the most for him is 160.
Yeah.
Okay. 160.
Get you
Who?
the
Got
try
a
to get
name in mind?
yeah,
You
I
got a
mean the
name
three
in mind?
champions, right? The three champions. You got Johnny,
Okay.
Beck, Adames, and Lara. I'd probably go
Mm-hmm.
for Adames first. That would be the
Okay.
best case scenario for me, style
Yeah.
wise. And then we can talk about Lara. And I would leave Johnny Beck for last.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
But
I
By the
would
time
make. I
that
would make them
Janibek about to be
unify.
out of
He
there,
about
he
to
might
lead
have to
that
be
division.
first.
yeah, no. However they come, I'm just saying best case scenario. I don't. I favor him against all of them, but I think style wise, Johnny Beck will give him the most problems.
Mm.
I'm in agreement with you, but I'm gonna say this. I don't think in a million years them sanctioning bodies want to lose an undisputed champion. They're gonna do whatever it take to make Crawford stay at 168.
Mm-hmm.
To
Yeah,
drop all them belts, that's
And
come
they
on,
all
God
bro.
forbid.
collected from the
God
same
forbid.
man. Yeah, that's
Plus,
true,
he's on his
B3.
way out anyway.
Yep.
He's on his way out anyway. So yeah.
Well, why? Listen, while he's active, they gonna want
Mm-hmm.
that $100 million payday or whatever to be a undisputed
Mm-hmm.
champion. He go down and fight for one belt or something like
Yeah.
that. They missing out on a lot of money.
Yep. That's why they
But
love
it doesn't
Canelo
look
so
like
much.
Janibek. But how much time are we supposed to wait for Janibek and Adames to fight each other? I mean, that fight has been on the loom for God knows how long, right? They've been
Well,
back and
your
forth.
boy fudged that up. I think if he wouldn't have got that draw, he probably would have been fighting him.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And,
that's
and,
true.
and they
I
robbed
mean,
him.
it was Riyadh that fudged him up, really. But
Right. It
yeah, I
really
think
wasn't a
Yeah,
draw.
yeah. Turkey,
That was Turkey Alley Sheik
whatever.
Boylan, you know,
Well,
his cousin or whatever.
because he
So,
won that
they
fight,
no
bro. He
draw.
won. Adames won that
Yeah, he
fight.
did.
Yeah, I
Mm-hmm.
thought Shiraz did well early on, though, man. He just wants
Man,
that
Shiraz is garbage, man.
man.
man, he stopped your
He,
boy Berlanga.
Man, that's like beating up a cab driver, man. That ain't nothing.
Yeah.
So you
But
don't want to
nobody's
see
surprised about that.
Canelo versus Shiraz next year? And they're gonna
He
oh,
said
say,
he
hey,
gonna
man, they
Shawad
fight
got a
dropped
hundred
Shiraz.
something.
million.
Shout out
They
Shawad
got 100 million
Laya.
for Canelo. Salute to the Queen
She
South.
dropped she dropped something a gem for somebody.
Hey, but I'll
Oh,
say
what's
this though,
up,
real quick.
Shower? I didn't even see you came in salute.
Jawa, how you doing? Always great to see you.
So what's next for Canelo? Y'all think he retires or he gonna fight
Nah,
Shiraz or
I
Ubang
think he should
Jr.?
fight Boo Andre.
He had
Eubank,
like 2 fights on
Eubank.
his contract or something, didn't he? B3 under
Yeah, he still
I
contract
got
for a
think
two
couple more
fights.
fights or something.
I honestly, bro, I would say Canelo is used to a standard, and that standard is things that will bring that betterment. The thing that will bring that betterment is Benavidez, dog. So why not make that
He
Mhm.
fight?
he getting he get $100 in the next two fights. So if he stopped the
Yeah.
Mexican Pussycat,
I
that'd be a good one.
understand that, but he got an additional package for how many people will tune in and show up to the
Right.
fight. And
Sure it is.
so just imagine
Yeah,
if
but
that fight gets.
Benavidez, man, he's so overrated, man.
So that's why you make the fight.
And Navida's
That
overrated. I don't know about that,
that
bro.
that 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 brings the last hurrah. He gets a big money on a big payday on his way out, and on top
What
of
happened
that,
if he stopped him, man? Nothing.
I don't think Canelo's gonna get in the ring. I could see Canelo getting in the ring with Benavides if he beat Crawford. Losing to Crawford, I don't think there's any way he gets with Benavides now. Personally,
Come on, Define Arnie. I like how you do that. You talk real nice and sweet as you spit the propaganda. I don't like that, man. You know that's not
that
true.
boy said you talk sweet, dog. Ain't that about no good?
Come on, Hermano. Tell the truth, Hermano.
I'm telling you, bro. Like let me tell you the truth, okay? Thank you for asking me. Canelo realized that he should have gotten Benavides probably at when he was fighting either Ronald Gabriel or Rogelio Medina, maybe even when he fought J. Leon Love, right? When he was green. Now that he's come to his own, I don't think so.
Okay. Shawa said that link is what Luis Resto was saying was in the bottle. That special blend.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Luis Resto is the punk that went into the ring with no padding on his gloves, and
Yeah.
the
He
career
went to jail behind that, remember?
yeah,
Him and Panama, whatever, Panama
yeah.
Lewis. Yeah.
Yeah,
Panama
when
was it?
and the revealing things when you see that fight and Collins' father was checking on his gloves and he
Yeah.
realized there was no padding, he wasn't shocked or anything. He looked over to Panama Lewis and waved him to come over. So that right there tells me everything I need to know.
That man died
Salute the
eventually.
shower, my favorite
His
chocolate
mind was
treat.
all messed up after that fight. He ended up dying
Yeah, yeah.
eventually. Not too long after that, you know? Yep.
And on top of that, Cash, you got the
Mhm.
shower stamp of approval, though. She says she appreciates your word,
Yeah.
with a smiley face to put the smile up on your face.
Yeah, appreciate you. Talbot got a great channel over there too. She did a good breakdown on the I think it was last Thursday on last weekend's action too, yeah.
And you know she good people because she just shouted out BVO, and we know the character that BVO can be, dog.
Shaw was the truth, guys. Shaw is the
Mhm.
And we know she even better than that because my man Irony of Irony Boxing just said she the truth.
Yep.
You
You
know
can
what
drop
I'm
the link
saying?
again if you want to, Shava. Everybody can subscribe to you. We all in here already subscribed to BBO and B3.
And
I
just like
think.
the person she
Yeah.
is, whenever my name gets mentioned, she always laughs. So you know what I'm saying? We all in good spirits around here. Let us hold hands and sing Kumbaya.
What's happening this weekend? Anything? I didn't see no names I even
Oscar
recognize.
Collazo, Oscar Collazo, the strawweight king, is fighting Jason Bison on Saturday night. I'm
Who?
gonna go live for that one. Oscar Pupilo Collazo, the
Oh, you
strawweight
gonna call that one?
holder. Yeah.
Yo,
Okay.
Cash, did you check out the the MJ and NOA fight?
I did.
No, I didn't see that. I haven't seen that yet. Go ahead,
I'm
define.
gonna send you the link so you can check it out.
Okay. Somebody did Monster go to 126?
Nah,
No,
not
he
yet, because
gotta
he's
see
Yeah.
Nakatani first. He gonna see Big
Nakatani
Masto
just
and then
came to 122. He can't leave now. You know.
yeah, and they lined up already for December
Yeah.
25th, right?
That wouldn't look
Gabby
good
defending on that
that's Big
undercard.
Masto.
if he left now.
Mm-hmm.
She
That's
said
like
that
a duck.
Gabby about to defend her
We
belt
can
on
say
that
BBO he
fight.
from Duckadoffia if he leave now.
Yeah.
BBO called
Oh,
it Duckadoffia.
and Gabriela Fundora is the co-main event on the Collazo on Saturday. By the way,
Okay.
Nah, man, I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. Right now is a very great moment for a lot of folks, bro. And I'll say this with all sincerity.
Mm-hmm.
Some people take accomplishments of other people just to throw
Right.
shade on other folks.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
True.
Terrence Crawford did an amazing job in that ring, and he needs
Yes,
on
he
his
did.
own merit and standard to be upheld for what he did and honored for what he did. It should by no way, shape, or form be used as a way to throw shade to other fighters.
Mm-mm.
And where he
well
possibly
said.
run into is
Well
to
said.
a place where they're actually doing that right now. And you know the cold thing about it, it was how should I say it? It was caped under the guise of we're gonna give one person flowers and we ain't gonna have no hate in our blood, and then it's segue to throwing some shade or some hate to a certain fighters. And it's sad that we do that, and we often do that
Oh,
all
that's
time
right.
and time.
Gabby Fundora fighting too. Yeah.
So you know, I'm gonna choose to celebrate. You know, the fact that hey, Crawford did something that I didn't think he was gonna be able to get awarded for, and that was the winner decision against my man Canelo. He did
Yeah.
that, and he did it convincingly, bro. Thought he won at least. I thought he won at least 8 rounds for
Mm-hmm.
sure.
Hey, T
9,
Hill.
you could go ahead.
When I heard them 115, 113s, I thought they was gonna do it to him, man. I said, "Oh no!"
Me too. Me too.
I said, "Oh
I
I'm
no!"
not
had a
gonna lie.
10-2. I had a 10-2, Cass. Me personally, I had a 10-2.
That's exactly what I had it.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So what 2 rounds did you give him?
I don't even remember. I think I
That's
was
what I'm
just being
saying because
It was
the
early.
first 3 they could have went either way to me.
Yeah, it was early. Definitely early. Yeah.
5, I believe firmly that was Canelo's round. 7, I
Mm-hmm.
believe firmly was Canelo's round.
Mm.
So you could give him 5 if you're being generous because you could have given him the
Yeah.
first 3.
Yeah, if you
But I
tried
don't
to,
think
you could.
I,
Yeah, you're
I
right.
don't think you can give him any other rounds, with the exception of maybe 9, because 9 he started off well, but Crawford finished well. So
Right.
I gave that to Crawford. But other than that, like it would have been
After
hard pressed to give him the best he could
after
have hoped
9, it
for.
was clearly all Crawford. After 9, man, he
I'm not I'm not
demolished him.
I'm not gonna lie, Cass. I damn near had a stroke the first time that he stood up toe to toe against him. I damn near had a
Yeah.
stroke. I was like, "Be careful, goddamn!" You know,
He
like
was smart
I get
though.
nervous.
He knew just when to get out of there. He was Crawford got a
Yes,
high IQ.
Nah, but
He
when
knew
did that
exactly
happen?
what he
What
was
round was
doing,
that
man.
when that took place?
it was on the
Couple.
second half of the fight. I can't point. I know he did it twice, maybe 3 times, but it was on the second
Nah,
half
he
of the fight.
definitely did it 3 times.
A couple times Canelo came close with the big one, man.
Yeah, he
Yes,
almost got him, but he was able to
he
catch it.
did.
But he
Nope.
wasn't fully able to fully stand there and say, you know what, I could do it until he had him completely flustered. When he had, and
No.
people
He
take
knew
the
when to get out.
frustration for hurt. He
Yeah.
wasn't hurt. He just was
He didn't
flustered.
get greedy. He didn't get greedy. He knew when to back away. You know. But he was tagging Canelo in there too, though, in that
He
pocket. He was
was.
getting the best of it. Mhm.
He was because you got somebody loading up trying to put everything they got
Right.
into a punch, and he's getting hit in the process.
Yeah.
Well, he's totally off balance, and on top of that, he's getting hit with stuff because people usually not willing to
Mhm.
wait. I mean, to throw that punch at that time when he's getting punched, you could see him like looking like nigga. But I
And
mean,
remember in
like
the
I
12th
say,
round, Canelo threw that big right hand and Bud caught him with that counter left hook, and Canelo turned back and looked at Bud like, God damn. Remember that
hey, hey,
shot,
hey,
Canelo?
hey, shout out to defendant
100%.
undisputed. Shout out to
Yeah.
the defendant undisputed, man. That's a
Gabby.
new title that we got. Yeah, we got
Gabby
undisputed up in there. We got an
Fundora.
undisputed. We
That's
got
a
an
bad
undisputed.
girl there, Gabby Fundora.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. She
Yeah,
fighting
Gabby
this
man.
is
weekend.
a
I forgot
monster.
about that.
But
Yeah.
I
yeah,
wonder if we ever gonna see her move up through divisions.
I believe you will.
Mhm. She
I believe you
5'9"
will.
at 112, man. Wow.
Yeah, I believe you will.
Yeah.
But she gonna
Got
do it
to.
the right way, man. They
Yeah.
both like slim,
She
so
has to eventually, man. You know.
yeah.
Because she young too. What is she, like
Yeah.
22? Something like that, B3?
I said, yeah, she about 23,
22.
almost
Yeah.
24 now. I didn't
Okay.
see her. I
Okay.
didn't seen her in some good fights.
Yeah.
So
She can fight. Yeah.
she could
She
fight.
fight
I didn't
like
see
a
her in some
brother
good fights,
almost.
but see, it's gonna be hard to
Hmm.
find opponents on her level
Yeah.
until she moves up through divisions.
She got the reach and everything, but she likes to fight up inside too, just like her
Yeah.
brother, you know?
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
But like I say, man,
Just
I
like
I
Mr.
hope
Giraffe
that
Man himself.
what we oh go ahead, my bad.
No,
You
no, I'm
coming
sorry.
to
No,
Nah,
I'm
go ahead
sorry.
and come play.
I
Go
was
ahead.
just saying that I referred to Fundora as the Giraffe Man.
Yeah.
Well, like them giraffes, how they be stepping on things. That's what she plan on
Mhm.
going to do. She plan on using that range to step on some folk.
Yeah,
She tough.
What does her
Real
brother?
tough.
Does he still have a belt now, Sebastian? WBO or something?
Yeah,
WBC.
He got one now, right?
I think he
I
got
know
the
he
big.
had two.
Yeah, the
Okay.
WBC. He dropped the WBO.
Okay. Yeah.
That's why Spanda has that one there.
Yeah. Xander got that one. Yeah.
But you know what? I
One's
think they
vacant,
gonna make
right?
that Xander versus Jalil Hackett fight. If they do that, boy, bye.
Yeah, they
Oh
were talking about that
shit!
on BVO. Bernard Hackett was on BVO last night talking about that. Hmm.
Oh
He's
man,
yeah. Yeah.
I
He's
hate it
doing
when it's two dudes that I like fighting. I hate it, but I gotta go with
it.
my.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, but see, I think that's a good fight because they like right around the same age.
Yeah.
And like for
True.
instance, Jahal Tucker had to fight Lorenzo Truck Simpson. Well, Jahal's fought a lot of tough fighters. I just say that to say the young guys
Mhm.
have to fight each other. You know what I'm saying, to really prove
Yeah.
themselves.
That's
Now
right.
Xander, he did beat Jorge Perez, and he
Hmm.
has a former champion in Teixeira. I want to know if they're going to play it at like you need to be the former champion or you need to be a mandatory before we fight. I wonder if they're gonna play it like
Who's
that
the Leo?
for Jalil, yeah.
Oh, okay. That's a good question.
Because from what
Yeah.
I was hearing is it's gonna be Giovanni Santillan
Me
in
too.
Puerto Rico.
Yeah, that's what I
That's
hear.
what Bernard was saying.
Right.
Yeah. Giovanni.
As I
Right.
understand, it's gonna be either Giovanni Santillán or Abbas Barao. That's the word I got.
Hmm. Yeah.
They would love
Yeah.
that because they just elevated Abbas Barao
Yeah,
to full champion in the WBA.
yeah.
Okay.
When he whooped,
Well, I'm hoping it'll be a Boston. That way, my man Jalil could get in the ring with Hackett. My bad. With
Wow.
Santion,
Until
and then
yeah.
we can eliminate that issue
Winner versus
altogether.
winner. Right?
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
with you on that. I like that too.
Hmm. Yeah.
So hopefully
Good
they go for the
scenario right
union
there.
instead of the Mando.
Yep.
If I was Hackett, I would press Eddie to push that route. Like,
For
yo,
that.
make the Abbas fight with my man
Xander.
my man
Xander.
Xander, yeah,
Xander, right?
Zayas, and then
And Will fight
maybe go for one of the eliminators with Santillan.
Absolutely. But see, here's the
Winner fight
situation
winner.
though. Yeah, that's okay.
I don't know how keen Jalil Hack is gonna be to coming back here after he got robbed the last
Man,
time.
Yeah,
I say
the
hold it in
last time.
the same venue, and I would want the same judges there.
Oh yeah, please do
Mm.
it at the same venue because it's like 20 minutes away from me. Please, please do it at the
No,
same
yeah, for real, the
Yeah.
same venue
Yeah,
with
had
the
the
same judges.
same judge.
Why would you want that, T Hill?
I wouldn't go that far.
Why would I want
Might
that?
rob him again. Huh?
Huh? You said why
They
would I
might
want
rob him
that?
again. Yeah.
Yo, well then there's a problem. There's a
Right.
problem because I will go in there and I will beat the dog snot out of him. And I
Mm-hmm.
think at this new weight, it's a lot
Yeah.
less he has to take off. See,
True.
he
That's true.
fought a hell of a fight being depleted like a mug because he had to spend
Mm-hmm.
himself so much to take that weight off.
Yeah.
And then the next day fight. You know what I'm saying? He
I'm
not
with
gonna
you,
have
T
that
Hill. I'll
issue.
fight Santillion over there. I ain't messing with. I wouldn't fight no Xander over there. I'll tell you that
No,
much.
no, 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 no. I'm talking about
Exactly,
fight
exactly.
Santian
Talking
over
about
there
Mm-hmm.
with the same judges. Me, just being me and who I am, I want you saying Mickey Flicky's in the building. Hell, count all the damn fans that was there that night. Let
Yeah.
them come too. Cause this time around, we gonna get this ish right. And I'm gonna get it
Yeah.
right on my end of the thing. And then I want my bus throwing promoter to go over there and then do his job and say, well, look what we have done right here. We have Jaleel
That's right.
Hackett. Yeah. He just went out here and put on the display. Why can't we get the winner of the boss Baro
Well,
and
let me say this,
go ahead, say that.
cause Jalil, he's with Turkey, and we got to be honest, right? Bakram is right there, so I gotta ask y'all this: how far is Jalil from Bakram? I mean, like, in a
Good
sense
question.
of making that matchup, because that's a shot at the title, 154. That puts you right in position. You fight Bakram.
As I understand, it was supposed to be Lubin because Lubin beat Andrea Holmes for the literal eliminator to challenge background. Now I don't know
That
how that whole thing.
Lubin is locked in with Virgil.
Yeah, no,
That's
no,
what I'm saying.
yeah,
Bakram is open, so somebody got to take that task. All I'm asking y'all is, do y'all think
yeah.
that's too far of a task right now for Jalil?
Bachman.
Yeah,
It might
Uh,
be.
Uh,
probably,
for his
Tough.
probably.
first fight to be
It's a big
acclimated,
one.
I believe so. Santillan
Yeah, I would
probably
go
about 2
Santiago
days.
first.
he
It
fought
gives
one.
him
He fought once at 54 already, right? Or did they fight at 57? That was
Um,
at 50.
who? Truck? Who was that? Truck?
Nah, Jalil versus they just fought.
Oh, he had to fight
Oh,
after
Oh,
that?
Elijah Vines, Elijah
yeah, Elijah
Vines.
Vines. Elijah
What
Vines.
was
Yep.
that at? What
That
weight
was
was
that
that?
was at 57. They fought at
57?
57.
Okay.
Yeah, I
Mhm.
remember him his weight for
Hmm.
that one as well. Yeah.
I
So
would
that's what
pick
I'm saying. So
Santiago.
unless Jalil might be anchoring to go to 60,
Mm. Shoot, if he was
but
at 57.
I don't know. But like you're saying, if Bakram is Bakram that dude that we just gonna not allow to get any fights,
I think so.
this is
Unfortunately,
nasty, man.
yeah,
Yeah.
it is nasty, bro. Because he's not signed to a big promoter, and he.
Yeah. That's true,
I'm gonna be
Define.
honest with you, bro. I like the what's his name? Starts with an M. I'm drawing blanks right now.
Yeah, I
Madrimal.
think I knew you talking about.
I'm not really sold on
That's
Bakri.
what we talk about the other guy.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? I believe there are other hitters in 54 that we should be really worried about, but unfortunately things haven't played out that way. But I think that there's a lot of possibility for them to play that way.
They need one
I
of them
just think it's funny
superstars.
how you see
That's
Virgil
54.
calling.
Go ahead, Define. Finish your thought.
No, no, just wanted to say how ironic is that you see Virgil calling everybody except for Bakram.
Yeah. Virgil kind of
They
like
know
getting on my nerves,
he
man.
he's a problem. He looked extremely sturdy at 154. He the
Who is
way
that?
he walked through Tim Zoo Bakram.
Oh,
Like
Bachman.
I
Okay.
last time seen him. Now I watched some of his previous fights, and he had some good fights. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I saw the Jack Colque fight. That was pretty good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
Jack. Yeah, Jack Coldplay. That was
Go ahead. Go ahead,
Go ahead, T
B3.
Hill. No, go ahead. No, you
No, go
fine.
ahead, B3. I cut you off, man. Go ahead.
Now all I was saying is that I want to see him in some more fights, man. I don't want him to be so inactive. That's all. Because
Mm-hmm.
it's like he just can carry on the boogeyman mantra. But we seen, I mean, he walked through Timzu, but outside of that, he hasn't fought nobody.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like Tim Zoo, he had some flash of promise and things like that, and he got a whole dose of lineage and his and whatnot with his dad. But I never fully was sold on him.
Yeah.
I
And
understand. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
no, go ahead and tell me what you understand.
I don't understand why Lubin not would choose not to go after a title and instead go into a fight with Virgil instead.
Yeah, I
Um,
don't understand that
The money, bro.
neither.
The money. That's all. That purse bid was trash. He got more money to fight Virgil.
okay,
Yeah.
gotcha.
So,
Mm.
but yeah. But all I'm gonna say this about Tim Zoo, right? Tim Zoo was just that was a bad style matchup. For him, you know what I'm saying? He tried to brawl with a you know what I'm saying with a puncher. He went
Mhm.
punch for punch and he got cracked. Now we
Mhm.
know Tim Zoo doesn't have the best defense. So I just feel like that was a bad style matchup. But I mean, I want to see Boots fight for that. I want to see Boots take that challenge. Do y'all feel like that's a fight we see at the Lima, or do you feel like they're gonna match up Boots versus Virgil?
We might get Boots
Um,
Virgil first.
yeah, yeah, I agree.
Yeah. Look what we need. Get that
So
settled. All the duck talk and all that stuff. Get that settled, man. And then go from there.
if they was smart, they would let Boots. He'll take on the tall task and Bacham, get that IBF, and then
Mm-hmm.
next year we'll see Fondora Virgil,
Mm.
and the winner of that fight Boots.
Mm.
I'm
And
with
that way
you.
they get the unification
Who
because
think
we
win
got to
that
get.
B3? Fundora and Virgil. What do you think about that one?
I'm gonna say I think Virgil
Virgil.
would yeah,
Mm. Okay.
I think Virgil would end up breaking him down to the
Mm.
body because he can go to the head and to the body.
Mm-hmm.
Fondora, and I trust the Robert Garcia training staff and
Yeah.
team.
Yeah.
And Virgil, he's an elite fighter. I think as long as he can make the weight well, I wouldn't be surprised if we don't see a move for Virgil to 160 on some. Oh wow, he
Okay.
just went to. You know what I'm saying? Because think about it, he
Yeah.
has the interim for Fondora at 154. He's the interim champ
Right.
now. Hopefully everything is going well since he's fighting Lubin, so that hopefully the relations are good. But
Mm-hmm.
we do. I mean, let me say this: he probably does need to wait for the Fondora Thurman winner. That would be his best route. But my whole thing is that he has options at 160. So with Virgil, he had the world is really his oyster. It's just if Oscar De La Hoya and Golden Boy gonna pull the trigger, which fight are they gonna activate?
Mm-hmm.
Because you got Adamas at 160. Maybe he stays at 160. I like Virgil and Adamas. That's a good fight.
Yeah.
So
That's a
I mean,
real
Virgil could do whatever he want.
very good
What's y'all
matchup.
thoughts? Who do y'all want to see Virgil fight? Do y'all feel like he should stay at 54?
I think
Boots.
so.
I want Boots. And they can do whatever they want to do after that. But there's been too much talk about this fight. Gotta have that one, man. You know.
Yeah.
I don't
But
think
just
they're
like
that good, bro. I don't think either Fundora or Virgil
I don't
personally
either.
are that
I
good.
don't either.
I think
I
Boots
think
has.
Virgil is overrated, man. I think
Yeah,
he's over.
me
I thought Bochuk beat him.
me too. Me too. And he had and Madrimov gave him fits in their
Yeah.
fight. He gave him more trouble than people I think realize. But with all that being said, I think the best move for Virgil is to stay for the moment at 54
Yeah.
and avoid Bakram and Boots like the plague.
Yep.
But Yeah, Virgil. Let's say that he gets past Lubin. Um, let's have him. Let's have him and Xander. Let's have it.
Yeah, I'm with you 100%. That's the fight that they've been talking about the most on social media. So hopefully that's the
Yeah.
fight that can
Yes.
happen, man.
Yeah, but to
That's
answer
it.
your question, BT, I would say stay at 54
Yeah.
for the same reasons Define Arnie was just expressing here. Stay at 54. You know.
But he's all I'm gonna say is this, and y'all know this for a fact. You want a
Hmm.
fighter to be close to his best or close to 100% as possible in these tough fights,
That's
because
true.
anything can happen.
Hmm.
So I'm
Right.
gonna be honest. If I would position, if you could pluck a belt off at 160, if Janet Beck is going up to 68, then
Yeah.
you probably want to fight a Boots at 160 possibly, or you know what I'm
Hmm.
saying, one some of these guys at 160 versus
Yeah.
cutting
I see
down to
what exactly what
154.
you're saying. I see exactly what you're saying. Yeah.
Because you remember he
With the
struggled to make 47.
47. Yeah.
He put himself in a compromising spot.
And he could probably would be more comfortable at 60, you know?
Yeah, and you remember what the Floyd always said about EJ? He always said that EJ should have been fighting at 160.
Yeah. He
You know,
always said that.
yeah,
Yep. Yeah.
Oh, you're talking about the ragdoll mealysis that he got back when he was. Yeah, I remember.
Right.
I know what you're saying now.
Mhm.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, man.
He had that. He had this, like, he postponed standing on us a couple times, I think. And then the
Yep,
first McKinson fight, he postponed that one like three times, I think. No, one
absolutely.
time it was Stanionis had a kidney, something. Stanionis was postponed at one time, him and Virgil. But
Yeah, it
Virgil
was.
did have to
It was
postpone
due
this.
to Virgil having issues with his weight cut, the rhabdomyolysis or
Yeah.
something like that.
Yeah,
Yep,
they had
that's exactly
two
what it is.
cancellations, remember? Yeah. And then McKinson, it was Virgil too, right? Remember? But he did fight
Absolutely.
McKinson eventually. Yeah.
Yeah, he did.
But yeah,
And
he
one
was
more thing, Brandon Adams deserves a fight too, guys. I don't know
Yeah,
if he deserves a
100%.
title shot, but give
That's why I
him.
wanted to fight
yeah.
Bachman. That's why I
Uh,
wanted to fight Bachman. I know that's a tough fight
Hey,
for
I like it. I like it. Yeah, I don't mind it. Somebody
him.
gonna fight.
Yeah,
I mean, somebody's gotta fight Bakram. I mean,
yeah,
come
somebody
on.
has to fight
yeah,
the
Adams,
brother.
you're right. You found only one. You're right about Adams. Yeah.
Yeah, it's because
I
it's
forgot
starting to look
about him.
bad. It's starting to look bad out here.
It is.
54 need a super something, super 10. Remember how they had the super 6 back in the day?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. And
54 needs something like
that's
that
the
in a
perfect
tournament.
division to do something like that. To be honest with you.
Yeah. Just narrow it on down, you know? Process of elimination. But the fighters don't like that because they don't have no control over who they're going to fight when you get in them tournaments like that, you know?
Exactly.
They don't like, that's why they don't like that. The no control.
The managers and promoters more so don't like that.
Yeah, that's right. That's what I mean, B3.
Yeah.
Yeah. 'Cause the format is
Yeah.
set and you got to fight who in that bracket next to you, you know? You can't be like, well, no, I don't want to fight him. You signed up for the tournament. That's your next fight. That's what I meant, the managers and the promoters. The fighters don't care. It's more so the managers than the promoters, right? 100% right. Yeah.
Yeah,
They
they
like
got to
that
do the
control.
154 tournament. That's mandatory.
Yeah. But they won't do it for the reason you just said. It'd be out of the managers and promoters' control who their fighters will face, you know?
Hey, let me get you guys' take on Roach versus Pitbull.
Mm. Man. What weight is that? Is he going to 140 or is Pitbull coming back or what?
I
What
think
weight
it's
is that
40.
going to be?
I think it's
40?
40.
Damn. So Roach was at 130.
Can anybody confirm that?
Wow. So
I think Roach could probably win a boxing match.
did he vacate his title?
I would edge Roach by decision.
Did Roach vacate his title?
Not yet. Nah,
Not
Jazza
yet.
Dickens is
Man,
the
all the way to
interim.
40. Damn.
Yeah,
I'm
Jazza
with you,
Man,
Dickens.
yeah, I
baby.
would have to say Roach too. Edge a decision. A decision. What do you think you find, Arnie, on that one?
Yeah, I'm with B3. I got Roach by decision.
Yeah.
I'm not high on Pitbull Cruz personally. I know
Hmm.
he's a very fan friendly fighter. You know, very
Yeah.
entertaining fighter.
He
But
only got fight one
he's
way though, you know?
exactly he's
Come
too
forward.
limited. I think Roach is gonna see all those overhands coming. You know,
Yeah. Because you know exactly where you're going to be at, right in front of you coming forward.
exactly. So
That's it.
yeah. What about you, T Hill? What do you think about Roach versus Pitbull Cruz?
I don't think it's as cut and dry as you guys saying it is, man. Honestly,
No.
I think that yeah, because for one, Roach is trying his. I mean, Pitbull is trying his way to get back to another team fight. So he's gonna try his best to get that payday. And I know everybody say the
Mhm.
payday ain't real, and
Yeah.
this and that, man, and whatever the case may be. But we know for a fact that dude did whatever he could to get back for another shot at that fight. And I say that because he's going to be focused for the fight, and
Right.
I think a lot of people don't have respect for him as a fighter. They
Hmm.
recognize the fact that he is small. He got longer arms than his torso is long, so he's
Hmm.
able to cover up body to head.
Oh yeah, yeah. He got
You
that
know,
winky right effect on the high guard.
you
Yeah.
yeah, you got to
Definitely.
set him up or make him engage in something that he's willing to do in order to hit him. Now, the one thing that Roach will have is the fact that he ain't known for knocking, sparking people out, so he's not
Right.
going to be too defensive savvy. But
Hmm.
it's going to be tough to touch him, especially if he does get touched, where he got to defend, and he's still
Yeah.
going to do what he's going to do. So it's going to be interesting to see how Roach, you know, acclimates to the type of pressure that he will bring.
Mhm.
I do believe that Roach, if it goes decision, he's gonna win the decision.
Yeah.
But I know also it depends on where the money is, where they view the money is in that fight.
That's true
So
too. Follow the
so
money.
so
Yeah.
I
Always
mean, I'm
follow
not so
the money.
sure about it from those factors. Those factors being at play. Now, like I said, if Pitbull don't respect it, if he start getting a bit, because he suffered his worst performances when he was allowing himself to balloon up.
Hmm.
He
Yeah.
can't let himself balloon up. He a little dude. He was like 5'3".
Yeah.
Yeah,
Always got
140. Yeah, 140. Like it's kind of a stretch, even for a little thick Mickey Freaky like him. That Mickey Freaky wasn't just thick. He was. Yeah.
like a bowling ball.
So he's gonna have to realize for him to get that fight that he desires, he's gonna have to be on his A game.
Mhm.
And I think that he'll be ready for it. I think that Roach will be ready for it because he wants to make a statement against Pitbull. And I think it's gonna be a great fight, bro. Honestly, I feel that way. And after that damn Rolly fight versus Ryan Garcia, I don't sell people short no more.
That's true. Rolly got it done.
I think Pitbull. There's a few instances that I've noticed where a fighter's stock rises after a loss, and I can go to Pitbull versus Tank, also
Yeah.
Russell versus Puello, and obviously Canelo and Floyd. I mean, those are three glaring examples to me how a fighter after a loss can just rise, to notoriety and what
Right.
have you. So I understand why what you're saying, T Hill, about getting himself back to a Tank fight, and I also understand Roach getting a common opponent with Tank because let's say just for the sake of saying that Roach can stop Pitbull, that will make his case even more because look, I stopped the guy that you didn't stop. I know he had
Right.
hand issues and everything, but I'm just
One
saying
of the only ones you didn't stop, right? You found out.
exactly.
Mhm.
And it's an interesting fight from that perspective. Who knows what Tank is gonna do, right? But I'm just saying from that perspective, it looks like an interesting fight.
Yeah. So when is it? Is it signed and everything? Signed, sealed, and delivered? Roach and Pitbull?
Um, I think I don't think there's a venue or a date for it yet. Maybe somebody
Okay.
could correct me, but
Yeah.
I don't think so.
They was thinking about holding it in Los Angeles, but
How can,
they haven't. I haven't seen a
boxing,
confirmation just yet.
Okay.
boxing is so messed up, man. How can a fighter hold on to a belt in one weight class and just move 2 weight classes north and still had a belt in 2 weight classes south of that, man? Come on now.
Man,
I mean,
the
When
WBA.
we get to a
I
point where
think
you strip the
Fulton.
guy,
I
you
think
know?
Cool Boy is doing the same thing, right? Cool
That's
Boy
what I'm
still has
saying, man.
26
Yeah.
belt. He's going for Oshaki. So
When do you say, okay, we're gonna take this and let somebody else fight for it? You way up there, 2 weight classes up. So
Yeah, but
yeah,
they
we're gonna look
agreed.
at
That's what
that.
I'm saying. They got WBA put themselves on the
Crazy,
hook.
man.
They put
Yeah.
himself on the hook because they allowed Lamont to move up.
Mm-hmm.
So they gave him their
They
word.
said
Now he had
35.
contractual.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. They allowed it. That's what I'm saying. The WBA
Right.
is who's in question here,
Yeah.
not Lamont, unfortunately. But I
Yeah,
mean,
that's
that's what I'm saying. We
crazy.
understand he not going back to 130. So I think they just find out who gonna position themselves. Because right now,
To
Jazza
go for it.
Dickens is
Yeah.
in that position. He's the number.
Mm-hmm.
He's the interim.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Now the money is not behind Jazz, but he is fighting on the Riyadh season card. They did put him against, I think, Hato Susumi.
Which one? The Benavidez yard one?
Okay.
No, the one, the
That
Inouye.
one.
They just announced the
Oh,
Inouye
that one.
card.
Okay.
It is gonna be in
Yeah.
Riyadh, Ring 5.
And you
So
wearing who? Nakatani?
Picasso.
yeah, absolutely,
Oh.
it's gonna be Inouye and Picasso, but
Uh,
Nakatani's gonna be fighting on the undercard. So they kind of, I guess,
oh,
they leading up to a big fight. I think they're gonna do that fight in Japan.
Yeah, yeah, no.
you
June
know that.
20 is Japan, and they're looking at April sometime next year. That's the word.
Mess
So
around, one of them
the
get bounced
Tokyo.
or something. Mess
And
that big
also,
fight up. Time to
like,
go ahead and have it, man. This is boxing. Anything can happen. You know.
yeah,
What's
to
one
add
of
to
Nobody
that,
them?
touches though.
I mean, like you said about the one fight going after Virgil Ortiz instead of going after a belt, man, it factored into the money. They're gonna do
Yeah.
whatever's gonna benefit their commission and their sanctioning body for bread. So if this means we can make more money, we'll let him go up there
Amen.
for this opportunity. He just has a certain time frame
That's
to
right.
defend the belts. And every champion has a certain time frame to defend the belts. It just only matters who is the champion, and the belt that they have that matters most to us as people. Like somebody can be doing it for their whole career and it's not a problem, and then this one person has it and doesn't do it or does something that they don't agree with and they need to be stripped, and we do that a lot. That's why I say, man, for me, I keep it all the way down the board for everybody
Hmm. Yeah.
because
Like Chava says, get rid of these step asides too. Fight your mandatory. You know?
honestly, man, if it were me and there's minty different champions in the thing, I would rather a uni be fought than a mandatory. But I can't be mad at a mandatory.
Yeah.
So,
Me too.
so,
Fight you, but just forget this step aside nonsense, man.
so what
Fight
I
the
would
mandatory or unification fight. You know?
so what I would suggest is like, yo, when people step out of a division or out of a competitive fight within their division,
Mm-hmm.
there's no longer you got to be bound by a mandatory. Now you
Nope.
need to be elevated to a unified. So
Mm-hmm.
your next opponent should definitely be a unified
And the one that
champion.
stepped aside, go back to the end of the line.
It,
You
so
stepped
that
aside, you got to work your way back up too. You don't just step right back in immediately. You
that's
stepped
what
aside, go back to the back of the line. You know?
and that's how I would try to like. That's the push I would make. Like if we go outside of our division, say for
Mm-hmm.
instance, I'm Roach, and I go up and fight the belt for the belt. Does Pitbull have a belt there?
No.
Mm-mm. No.
If I go out there and I don't fight for a belt, but I go up there and make that fight, and I know it's definitely to give my people some cash. Then when I come back, I ain't fighting my mandatory. I gotta fight the belt holder. So it's a
Mm-hmm.
unification.
Right.
Likewise, and I say because everybody loves to throw this one in the ring because they don't like him or they don't like the people he around. If I'm Tank and I go out and fight a Jake Paul, nigga, when I
Mm-hmm.
come back, I ain't fighting no. You can't fight a mandatory now. You got to fight a unified. So
Mother.
if you go outside your division to fight to make a
Mm-hmm.
fight, and it definitely ain't for no belt
Right.
of that same belt that you own.
Mm-hmm.
When you come back, you gotta fight a unified
Mm-hmm.
if you don't have all the belts.
Yeah.
As of
That's,
right now, Pitbull is the interim for Real Matias at the WBC.
oh, he is? Okay.
I'll be right back.
Yeah, because Mauricio, he gonna throw the belt on the line for any fight possible. Well, provided that it's Pitbull,
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
know,
you know my reason.
somebody of that stature.
Yeah. Yeah,
I
you know
got
I
you.
my.
will say this when he's on. I mean, I will say this, and let me be on. Let me be fair because he's a fair opportunist for the WBC. He definitely allowed anybody and everybody in position to fight for the interim. Um, I don't know why they needed to put the interim for Pitbull versus uh was it Angel Fierro, and then Angel Fierro fell out of the fight. So
Mhm.
who did Pitbull fight for that interim? I'm trying to think. Who was his last opponent? Who did he
Uh,
end up fighting?
I can't
Oh, he
remember.
ended up fighting Omar Saucedo. Yeah,
The
he fought
Omar.
Saucedo,
Okay.
if I'm not
Yeah, that was his
mistaken.
bounce back fight after Rio took his
Yeah, but
title,
they
right?
put the interim on the title for that.
Okay. Yeah.
That's nasty work.
Well, the most
WBC, right?
work was when they elevated
Yeah.
the fight between Ryan and Pitbull. I mean, not Ryan and Pitbull, but Ryan and Rolly for
Yo,
a belt. That was the nastiest work of all. But
I know.
Yeah.
because they can do stuff like that, they also can do that if you go out there and
Yeah.
fight somebody outside your division and it's not for a title in within your sanctioning body that you hold the belt. Then when you come back, we got to add some lore to that belt. We got to make sure that and that's why I say there needs to be somebody over the sanctioning bodies so that we
Yeah.
can
Yeah.
get this in order,
And
so
For
some of the
remember,
sure.
stuff can't take place.
when Pitbull got the shot against Rolly for the title? First fight at 140, and Barroso had won a title eliminator, remember? And
Yep.
Pitbull got the title shot. That's
Yeah,
Yes,
crazy.
sir.
they did old man
Damn bad.
Barroso
Hey,
dirty.
Yeah, he
yeah,
did.
now that's nasty
And
work right there.
Kenneth Sims is right in position. He had to go the long way around, fight Duarte, end up losing his position.
Yeah,
Hmm.
I
Yeah,
was very unimpressed in that fight. By both guys, but mostly by Sims because I think Sims got the skills, but
yeah,
he kept putting himself on the ropes, and
I
I
know.
remember, I
He,
remember.
he clearly was a better skilled fighter, but
Yeah, I don't like Duarte at all. I think he's just basic but
yeah,
got the job done.
See here, you got a lot of feedback coming through.
yeah. Somebody, yeah,
Me?
that's feedback. I don't know what the hell I just did.
Appreciate you, T here. But yeah,
My
Shaw
goodness.
would say Sims didn't keep the center of the ring 100%. Yeah,
Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah, that
that's
was
true. Yeah,
now.
that's true. Sims. So go ahead, B3.
Now, Cass, you saw that Devin and Ryan had did like a little pseudo face off or something like that.
Yes, I saw that. Yeah.
So Devin is crazy. So this is what Devin is on. Assuming that he can beat Norman Jr. in December,
Mm-hmm.
he's gonna give Ryan another opportunity at a title.
I don't know.
I
I
don't
thought
think so.
they was
That's
trying
the,
to line that up when Rolly beat Ryan. Remember?
yeah,
So
yeah. I mean that is, but see, I guess that's the fight that Turkey still wants because he
yeah.
invested in it. He
But what
invested a
has
lot of
Ryan
money
done
in it.
to deserve another title shot? He just got beat. But that
Come on
don't
now,
matter though. But that
come
don't
on
matter.
now.
Like, it don't
I
matter.
mean,
Yeah,
that would
that's
sell. That would definitely sell. The problem that I have with that fight is if you're Devin, bro, that's bad news because I just think that stylistically, this guy is horrible matchup for you. He got long arms, quick hands,
there
that
we go.
left hook. I just think that stylistically, you can talk about them, being completely different
Okay. There goes
fighters,
Shower right
build
there.
and everything, but I just if I'm Devin, no way I'm giving Ryan a rematch unless he earns it. You know
I'm with you
that
on that.
At least beat somebody.
Hey, but see, Devin,
exactly.
that's what
What's up,
even
Shower?
Eddie Hearn is saying.
Yeah,
That brother is a prize fighter through and through. Now he's going for the biggest bag, and it's playing out that way. Salute to the Queen Shower.
What's up, Shower?
Good afternoon, fellas.
Good afternoon. How are you today?
I'm good now that baby done went on
Oh,
somewhere.
okay.
I can talk. No, define irony, man. Yeah. Or no, that was B3. You think he's looking past? He's looking past Brian?
I think so. I mean, based on his rhetoric, I can go only by what they tell me. What they say and what they show.
Mm-hmm.
So, based on him, how he's been looking, he said, listen, he hasn't been on this level, things of that nature. Then you see him doing face offs with Ryan. And
Hmm.
if he comes out and shows us that he's levels above, then I'm gonna be surprised because from what I've seen recently, Devin's gonna be in trouble against Norman Jr.
Mm.
Yeah, well, no, I
I
think
beg to
that.
differ, but I can see that happening.
Because here's the thing. Now we understand that Devin has elite conditioning, so he definitely can enact a game plan. We saw that against Jose Ramirez. It's just that I don't want him to overlook Norman Jr. Like Norman
No,
Jr. is
that
in,
would be
is
crazy.
working out. Like he's not hanging out.
Yeah,
You
you know
know.
what won't happen with like what happened with Ramirez is Ramirez didn't let them hands go. That's not going to be the case with Brian.
Mm-mm. Not at all.
Yeah.
So while I
Right.
liked what Devin did with his feet, and when he sat down on the few punches he did, I liked that. But that's not going to be enough.
Mm-mm. Not even close.
Did
What you
you?
think, Define Irony? How you see it playing out?
Really, yeah, I'm interested.
This is a 50-50 fight, in my opinion, because it's. I don't think Norman is going to be able to adjust to Devin ultimately.
Mm.
Devin, I think, has got the jab, he's got the mobility and the footwork, and I don't think Norman. I understand that this is his first fight at 47. There's a lot of ifs here, right? That's what
Mhm.
makes it interesting. I'm sure Norman's working on, cutting the ring off and everything that comes with it. I just don't think that he's going to be able to sit on his punches the way he's able to sit on them against Sasaki or Cuevas and all the rest of them. I think Devin's going to force him to punch moving, which is something he's not used to doing consistently,
Mm.
as I think. And I just think that Devin's going to present too many problems for Norman to solve. Now, I could be completely wrong, and he could get slept, right? Because Norman is dangerous as holy hell, right?
Mhm.
But from a style matchup, I just think Devin is gonna be able to pull it off, But I'm not betting my house on this one. That's for damn sure.
Mm,
Yeah,
yeah.
he's gonna have to fight a little bit to win this fight. So that's what I'm saying. With them exchanges, can he get in, get out clean? It's gonna be the
Mhm.
question.
I
Yeah.
don't
Good
think
point.
so.
Good point.
There's a couple of fights that kind of point to the fact that he probably won't be able to consistently anyway. That would be Quentin Randall.
Mhm.
The other is it Cardenas or it was someone starts with the C, but he does
Derek
it too.
Cuevas.
No, way before Cuevas is before. Give me a second. I'm looking at box rec, but the thing that he does is pin. He will
Yeah.
pin, and once he actually gets you to an area, the ropes, that triangle, he
Mhm.
will pin his using his head though, not like a regular pin with his hands, which I've seen him do
Mhm.
that. But put his head in your chest and work the body, and
Mhm.
you might get out of that again. But should he get you to those ropes again, to that triangle again, like it's something he's been consistently doing for a long time. And so I've been watching B. I like him. I like him. He does a lot of things people don't really pay attention to, but and I think he can take a jab away. So we're gonna see how that goes. It was either Campos or Coria.
Mhm. How's he gonna take that jab, Shower? From him.
Um, First by possibly winning the battle of the jabs, right?
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, I'm
Mm-hmm.
just saying he has the ability to. Now,
Yeah,
will he? I don't know because we
yeah.
know Devin
If he
has a
can do that,
beautiful
Devin
jab.
might be in trouble. You know.
Devin has a beautiful jab, but his
Mm-hmm.
reach is what, like 2 inches longer than Devin's or something like that.
Oh, Norman got the longer reach.
I think he's 76 or something, maybe.
Mm. Yeah, I'm not sure.
I think so. I just know it's
Oh,
longer. It may even be one
yeah.
inch.
Mm-hmm.
Devin does got a beautiful jab, and it can be, but he didn't really use it against Ramirez.
Mm-mm. Beat Cambosos with it. Remember?
Absolutely, he put on a jab clinic in that
Definitely.
first
Yeah.
fight.
Pro grade 2.
Mm-hmm.
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh, that was a beautiful fight right there.
Oh
Yeah.
That
yeah.
was a perfect fight with Devin.
That was one of his best ones to me. Was Regis.
That
You
to me
know.
is
Yeah,
his best performance, all in all.
it really
Yeah.
was. And I like the younger Devin though, because like I said
Mm-hmm.
before, younger Devin took chances. He
He did.
Yeah, he would risk taking some to get some back, but not so much no more. But Brian
Uh-huh.
still does.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
and the thing about it is they see Bill likes to devise game plans based on what the people are saying. But so like for instance, he was getting caught a lot against Loma. The Regis was
Mm-hmm.
the next fight. He didn't want him to get caught with anything.
Right.
And then the same thing, Ryan caught him a lot with the left hook. So
Mm-hmm.
versus Jose, he's like, nah, let's just box. Let's not get caught with anything.
Yep.
So it's going to be interesting to kind of see how this fight plays out in a sense that I know Devin's going to have to fight in spurts because he
Yeah.
can't fight him the whole fight. It's just, it can Norman catch up to Devin when he's on his bike. That's the thing because
Yeah.
as we see, when that brother is on his bike,
He's elusive.
it's yeah, it's hard to even touch him. So and to land a clean hook
Mm-hmm.
and him not hit you with catch you with a check hook because this brother he's quick.
Yeah.
So that's the only thing is I want to know has Norman Jr. had enough experience, I would say, and I know he's
Mm-hmm.
had a lot of sparring experience, all type of fighting experience, but
Yeah.
in that top level, because Devin has kind of been through it all at this point, right?
That's true.
He's been concussed. And now
Mhm.
I know Norman Jr. got clipped by a Boca Chica,
Chica on the
Mm-hmm.
and
chin.
that showed that okay, he could recover and he got back to work. But
Yep.
it's just I want to know, and and I'm talking about this. Somebody gonna say, "Well, Devin ain't concussed nobody," So that's the thing is
But nobody's walking through Devin either. I know. I've
right.
always known that.
Right. Exactly.
So that's the thing. So if he does, come hit Norman Jr. with a looping shot, or maybe he touched him to the body, and it's something that Norman is uncomfortable with. How does he deal with that? How does he deal with that? You know
Hey,
what I'm
Big Three.
saying?
Let me ask you. Remember what you were saying about Hackett going up, not having to cut as much weight?
Mm.
Yeah.
Will it be a
Mhm.
factor for Devin this time?
I
Going up
believe so.
27?
I believe so. But the
Will it help
because
with
here's the
power?
sti- the
What you think,
main
Power? Huh? Go ahead, Big Three.
possibly a little bit. I just don't
Okay.
think I just
Mm-hmm.
don't see that for Devin. Respectfully, you
Okay.
know what I'm saying? I don't see.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I just
Yeah.
feel like any like the right shot that hit that you don't
Mhm.
see coming can hurt you regardless who hit you,
Right.
That's true.
right?
You ain't got
So
time to wait for that bad
that's
boy.
what Devin has on his side is that cat like quickness.
Mm-hmm.
But is
And
he
on
hitting angles like that?
right, that's the point. That exactly. So he's not. His offensive package is not.
Mm.
So that's something that he needs to work on.
Yeah.
Now at this stage, how much can he still develop? And
Okay.
that, and that's what's yet to be seen.
As Benavides.
Mhm.
So for me, with the weight, it's
Mm-hmm.
gonna be what, 3 extra pounds than the last fight, right?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
we
That's
know
true.
Devin has came in heavier than
Mm-hmm.
147 for
Yeah.
the recent
Way
fight,
heavy.
right?
Yeah.
Now, the only thing with me that concerns me with Devin, he's definitely gonna be better. being at 47 or whatever he comes in on that night.
Mm-hmm.
My only concern really for Brian is because we haven't seen that. Devin is a good body puncher. He clips good. Like I don't know if people do believe it or not, but he broke Lomachenko's rib, whatever. So, and that ain't we heard about Ramirez, but then they denied it. But we don't really know. But he definitely will go to the body. That's kind of my concern. I've never seen Brian really taking body shots like that.
Mm-hmm.
But that weight too, yeah, he should be doing really good at 47. I kind of look forward to seeing this.
Yeah.
Debo Dev. All right, man. Let me get my spiel. What is the first condition for change? Nobody. The first step towards change.
The first step towards change
is admitting that something needs to be changed.
Yeah, exactly.
So he can definitely add to his game, and he can definitely work on things. He just got to admit to himself that certain things need to be worked upon. And that's the one thing that he himself and his pops have been pushing back on. So none of that stuff with Ryan, Osterine, and Angelone all together is an aberration. These things have been prevalent against other fighters in other fights. So this thing is something that definitely needs to be worked on. Likewise, giving angles on punches, that needs to be worked on. So these are things that he and his team got to first admit. The second thing is being concussed or taking a punch. I think in the Ramirez fight, he didn't want to find out if he could take a punch. He didn't want to risk it. And in order for him to get in there and do what he needs to do, he got to be confident that I'm gonna take your best punch and I'm gonna still rise.
He was just coming off the Ryan situation too, to you, remember?
Yeah, for sure. And like I said, it wasn't even the. Go ahead.
I was just saying everybody was concerned about that too. Will he be able to fight?
Yeah, and I think more so than anything, not the punches that he took. It was the memes and the stuff that riddles social media and ninjas making pictures of three dudes holding a little baby saying, "These are my son. These are my fathers." This is the type of stuff that he responds to and gets him. And they're like I said, man, I don't mean this as no shot, but the one shot of him on his knees with his butt up and the stain in the back of the trunks, dog. Those things right there worry him more so than what Ryan did to him in the ring. Because it was only in a couple of rounds that it was done to him in the ring. You know what I'm saying? So he got to go through the process mentally of saying, yo, I can take. In fact, I took somebody's best shot with extras on it and still was able to take care of finishing the fight. Then he got to have the conditioning, because in the condition, in the conditioning of the Progress fight, he was at tip top.
Yeah,
he was at tip top. He got to come in that tip top shape, mind, body, and soul. And I think he got
to come in pretty good shape, though.
The shape is always fine.
Yeah.
I don't know if the Ramirez fight was tip top like the Progress fight was tip top, though.
I think it was. I think he just had a. Well, according to who was that, Shane, he didn't follow the plan, right? So I think he was in shape, but he just wasn't trying to let us know.
Hey, Cass, can you do me a favor? Can you get the picture of him in the ring with Progress, and then get the picture of him in the ring with Ramirez? Because if we could load it up side by side, you could look at the shape, the physique, and see that it wasn't the same. Now, he probably was in good shape because that's just Devin Haney. But that fight, he was in elite shape.
You talking about the Progress fight? He was in better, right?
But he also, but I'm gonna say this to you: he also struggled to make weight for that fight. Regis told us that.
Oh no, I believe it, because he stayed 3 fights too long at 35.
Yeah, definitely did.
Yeah, that's
So
a fact.
yeah, I believe all of that. I honestly believe that's why he only got one fight at 40 or
Yeah,
two. He had two fights at
absolutely.
40,
Just
but
one.
just
One.
one, yeah, just one fight at 40. Yeah,
Yeah, because the
And it's
Ryan fight
Ryan.
got excluded. The Ryan was at
yeah,
40, but they can't, did whatever they did. But that was
yeah,
supposed to be for Devin's 140 WBC title.
Yeah, that's
yeah,
right.
yeah.
Supposed to have
But
been
that fight
40,
don't
but
count no more. There was one fight
right.
at 40,
Yeah, that's all.
and then after
You,
that,
that was it.
it was the other fight, and I don't know if that was a catch weight or whatever the case may be. So, it definitely took a toll on
Okay.
him.
No, okay, you
Now,
What
guys are
was
right.
there?
Technically, 2 fights at 40. Ramirez was 43.
Yeah,
Okay.
43, right? Yeah,
Yeah.
and I'm
Yeah.
gonna say this: you gotta acknowledge the weight cut for the Ryan fight, and also the punishment that he took in the fight. So, even though it's not on his record, those things did have damage
Good
that they
point.
did damage him.
It
Yeah,
happened. That's
they
right.
exist.
It
Regardless,
happened.
what's on
You
paper,
can't
they
erase that.
exist.
It happened. You can erase it off the record, but you can't erase that. Good
Yeah,
point,
that's
B.
reality, man.
That's right. That happened.
Ain't the paper reality actually what happened.
That's right. hmm
And
Yeah.
so,
so
and the only thing about that's concerning T Hill is that he even said out it himself that it's taking him some time to get over the situation. Now I'm thinking more so it's I'm gonna be honest, you could be right, and everybody has their own, certain people think certain ways and others think other ways.
hmm
Me personally, I believe that this is Floyd Mayweather. Floyd Mayweather is his idol.
hmm
So he is trying to do everything in his power to reach the heights or surpass the heights of Mayweather.
You better believe it.
And Mayweather ain't never get his ass whipped like that.
You better
No.
believe
So the fact that he's had kind of the trauma of dealing with the loss, but also the fact that Mayweather has some form of enjoyment out of it, those things, and still compete and come back to compete at the top of the sport,
Yeah.
that shows that this brother is on a different level, because a lot of people will fold when they knew that their idol didn't really want to see them achieve or surpass them.
Yeah.
it.
Told the other
Yeah,
guy come in overweight and all that kind of
that's part of
nonsense.
what they say. Never meet your idols. That's part of why they say that. Yep.
hmm But see, but even if you listen to Bill, that's who Bill wanted Devin to model himself after
And he
hmm
has.
as a
Yeah,
kid.
you're right.
Yeah.
So
He
he
was
did it
always
to the
what that
best of his
Mayweather
ability,
do.
right? And
You look
and
at
it's
a lot
funny
of the
how
clips
everything comes full circle.
of old training Floyd training videos. Devin is right in there, right in the gym. It's Floyd sparring and stuff. A whole lot of them. Devin was right there
hmm
as a
Yeah.
youngster. hmm
He's definitely modeled himself like Floyd as a fighter and outside of
Yeah.
boxing. The way he carries
hmm
himself, even
Yep.
down to the things
Yeah.
he says.
Yeah.
Yes.
So yeah, but
And
you
you
ain't
could tell it's
Floyd.
not him.
But you ain't exactly. You ain't Floyd, man. Be
Yeah.
yourself.
Yeah. If he could be himself, just fight like Floyd. But you don't have to, because what happens is that's why people dislike you.
I don't even think
Because
he should fight like that, man. Because it's not.
Well, not only
BP.
that, I'm just saying cerebral, the mentality. Like,
Oh
have the
yeah.
IQ,
You think
but
some
you
of that
have
is
to.
Bill? Think some of that is Bill? Stop to interrupt you, B, but you think a
No, you
lot of that
good.
is Bill to try to be like Floyd, his father, pushing him?
Well, that was the blueprint.
Okay.
Bill will tell you that.
Mhm.
hmm
So Mayweather being the blueprint, that's
Yeah.
what the people are going to track. So you see, and I heard Norman Jr. talking. He said that Devin got booed the loudest out of anybody at the Canelo fight. They
Mm.
said the people booed him
They did
crazy.
boo him. I
Wow.
heard
I didn't
that.
hear that. Damn.
And see, that goes to show what Bill is trying to do. Because let's just say he does beat Norman Jr.,
hmm
then Devin is literally going to be on that level, like where people are going to pay to see him now, because we know what he's going to have to do to beat Norman Jr.
Yeah.
So it's because some people gotta hate you, some people gotta love you. Now, if this brother is the one, if people are booing
It's not organic.
him,
Though.
you say it's not organic.
No,
What do
it's
you mean? What part of it?
it's not organic because he's playing a villain. He's playing up to something. Again, he's not being himself. So it's not even the booze. You know, a lot of
Yeah,
people already don't like him, but you're trying to ensure it's not organic.
and a lot of the boos come from his father. They really booing his father through
Absolutely.
him, through him.
Absolutely. Yep.
You know.
But
Do you think?
I will
Let
say
me
this:
ask.
every story needs a heel. You
Yeah.
see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
mean, let's just be real. Ryan Garcia is the golden boy, Oscar De La Hoya, and Devin is going to be the guy that people dislike. I
Do
mean,
you
that
think?
unfortunately that's the story.
Do you think
Yeah.
B3 that Bill Haney maybe saw that the villain persona, so to speak, or the heel, I love you put that one, persona works so perfectly for Floyd as far as
Yeah.
marketing and everything else? Do you think that's
Mhm.
why he is doing that with Devin Haney? Yeah, I think so too. T Hill, yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Yeah. What about you, B3 and Shawa and Cass? What do you think?
I couldn't hear T Hill, but ask your. I'm gonna jump out and jump back in because I couldn't hear T Hill.
Oh, okay, okay. I'm sorry.
I
I
didn't
was
hear the
just
Go ahead,
asking
Charlie.
question.
You
if
can ask the question.
On my
You can take
phone.
it first, Shower.
What was the question now?
do you think that Bill Haney saw how the villain persona worked out so perfectly for Floyd, as far as marketing and everything else, and how big he got because of it?
Yeah,
Do you think that's why he's trying to make David the quote unquote villain?
absolutely. Because what other
Mhm.
reason would there be to play a villain role when, I mean, mentally, that can't be a good thing. And even for Floyd, it can't be a good thing. Now, if you go into it and are willing to, take it as it comes in that manner, but that can't be good for your mental.
I think it also needs to match your personality to a degree, right? Because
Yeah,
if you're not really, if you don't have that villain in you, I don't think you can pull that off.
but that's what I was gonna ask you then. What personality does Devin have? What have we actually seen from Devin? We could say, oh yeah, that's absolutely Devin.
That's a good question.
Um,
That's a
the
hell of a question.
Man,
his
yes.
I think his real personality is, I mean, we don't really see it a lot, but you can tell. You gotta read, you gotta listen to what people say, right? Well, so what did he? Unfortunately, and we gonna keep it 100. We all grown up here, so I'm just gonna call it what it is, right? After the Lomachenko, when he said Lomachenko was in the hospital and he was having a threesome,
Mm.
you know what I'm saying? So
Yeah,
it's just little things like that that goes to show he's a young kid, still immature. Probably when he's not dedicated to the sport, he's enjoy. He's probably with a shorty, with his lady. You know what I'm saying? He's a young guy.
Mhm.
I just feel like you can tell because he hasn't graduated into speaking for himself, forming a family the right way. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Being conscientious of how people are viewing you on camera and what you're saying, right? Building
Yeah.
up your opponent like Mayweather did versus tearing them down. So it's
Mhm.
just a few things you just kind of can understand that he's still developing in a few areas, which is normal for people that's still in a development stage.
What
And
you
you know
think,
what?
fella?
They also asked him. You see how they ask fighters, like perfect fighter, and then they go jab, footwork, this and that, and they mention a name, right? On the footwork, he mentioned Lomachenko. So at the end, these fighters really respect each other. I wouldn't go too much into that, but that is a valid point. What you just made about what he said about Loma Hospital and the other stuff. But I mean, I don't. It is interesting.
But y'all know what though? As far as that villain thing between Devin and Floyd, to me, Devin seemed kind of phony at it. Whereas Floyd, people respected him
yeah,
more. You know what I mean?
yeah. That's
Hmm.
why
Floyd
I
had
asked,
more respect,
is it real? Is this
some
is
respect
real?
level
Yeah, I
than
agree.
Devin. You know?
Nah, I
And
agree that
I
Shawa, she touched on it perfectly. Like it was born out of like the experience of Floyd.
Mm-hmm.
Mm,
Like,
Yeah,
proximity,
and huh?
exactly. That's it.
What'd you say? What'd you say, Shawa?
proximity.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And you know, I think that Floyd tried to be the media darling and he tried to do things the right way. He did it in the Olympic company and it backfired on him. He was told that he just wasn't good enough. What he was doing, even though it was levels above that, it just wasn't good enough. Then he went in through the right way. And
And what
he's
happened after the
listening to
Olympics, T.
the
Hill? Then he had to deal with the Oscar, the Golden Boy, right?
Mhm.
And they made him the opposite of that, you know?
He was
man.
the American darling, yeah.
Think
Mhm.
about how that is, bro. Like I literally cleaned somebody and they took it away from me. So now it's like, yo, what is it really about? And you
Yeah.
know, then next thing you know, I'm fighting, I'm winning convincingly. Like there ain't even no dispute. And Mickey Frickies is still not rocking with me. And then when he
Yeah.
finally did, he did everything he could do to put himself in a project. Hey, you know what? Whatever you say, put it in a contract, and I'm gonna
Mhm.
fight you.
Yeah.
And then he did it. They still gave him no respect. So he
Yeah.
said, from this moment on,
Yeah.
F.
He said, F it. After he beat Oscar, he said,
Yeah.
I'm going to be what y'all want me to be. And he ran with
Now,
it.
Yeah.
And
on
it
the flip
reminded me,
side,
Yeah.
then you got Devin, and I think you said it earlier, Kaz. It is that
Mhm.
his father has kind of fomented this
Yeah.
hatred that
That's it.
people have for. It's not even about Devin.
That's
Because
it.
when you
It's
ask people,
Bill.
they be like, "Why? What do you hate about Devin?" They be like, "Well, it's Bill," and it's like,
Bill.
see, nobody. It's not
Yeah.
even about Devin.
But a lot of people
Yeah.
say that.
so when you ask that question, I'm gonna go to it right now because that was an excellent question. I'm gonna preface it by saying that you got Dev who tried to do everything right. You know, I just want to be the true representation of what it takes to be great, and I'm willing to do everything the right way.
And loaded
And he see that the recognition don't come from me doing things the right way. After a while, you know, he's like, "Yo, I'm doing everything right. Why they keep coming at me the wrong way? Why people feel this way about me?" And like you said, you got your dad on the outside saying and doing all kind of stuff slick. It get
Yeah.
to the point where, you know, I tried my best. See, to me, it looked like he the dude that really want to do things the right way, want to be clean and everything like that, but he don't get no recognition for it. But he
Exactly.
really ain't that. He really, it ain't really been that type of life for him where he feel what the gutter is and
Mhm.
he feel what it's like to be on the downtrodden side of things. So he can't really resonate with that. What he could truly resonate with is being like clean cut.
That's
Yeah.
absolutely
You
true.
don't want that
I'm
get
about
and
to-
go.
You say what? What did you say, Sean?
That's absolutely true. That's why I
Yeah.
always say when he first was being vilified, it kind of broke my heart, to be honest, because I was like, this is a good kid. I
A
don't know
real
why
good kid.
people are like dragging him, because even with the crap Bill does and did, like I just don't think Devin ever deserved it. So to
No.
see people vilifying him, and I'm just always thinking to myself, when I look at Devin, I think of some little California kid, Vegas kid, probably he dresses like a
Yeah.
skater, and then then you start seeing the add-ons. Everybody said he's trying to be like Tank, and I don't think so. I think he's just a young kid. The tattoos. Again, he don't really
Trying to
dress
fit
like
in.
a kid,
You're right.
but
Mhm.
yeah,
Not so much like Tank, but like the culture. What is the culture? I want the culture
Yeah.
to accept me,
yeah.
embrace me.
But then when you look
Be
at him, what does he look kind of geeky? When
the
it's
way
like,
he talk, the way he move, the way he sound, it all.
yes, yes.
So like going back to with my man 3, and like I said, this is nothing against Dev. I rock with Dev, but you saying hey, while he up in the hospital with broken ribs, I'm over here having a menage a three. You know what I'm saying? Look, that's something that really he probably don't want to say, but you think that that'd be the coolest thing to say at this time, so people would rock with. So I can get a like, a comment, or a subscription. He one of them type dudes that do anything for a like, comment, and subscription because hell, when I'm doing it the right way, that's ain't getting no like, comments, and the subscriptions. So I
Yeah.
think that's more so along the lines of the personality, and I think his dad just like Shaw said, just exacerbates everything because of the stuff he say and the stuff he do.
Yeah.
But a little
I'm
bit
with
of
you. You 100% right, T Hill. But
Yep.
it's the same thing that BVO said about Joe Lewis. And Joe Lewis, I mean, comparing somebody to Joe Lewis, that's a stretch. But what I'm saying is that when you don't have a personality, they'll try to put you in a box like Crawford, right? Where
Make
would
one
Devin be
point.
if they didn't have Bill? You know what I'm
That's a
saying?
good point.
So
Good point.
it's like it's tough. Like what you want to say, you want to be authentic as possible, and that goes to show you that the world really don't appreciate people that are authentic. You know, it'll take years for you to prove yourself like Bud did. You
That's
Yeah.
why.
know, go
That's
ahead,
why I
Jay.
said no. I didn't mean to cut you off, but that's why I said, I feel like the scope of applications and devices that will allow for you to broadcast instantly has kind of changed the way people do things, man. I think the
Yeah.
attitude that he had, the
Yeah.
personality that he had,
Exactly.
is cool because it's him. But it don't rock well with these Mickey Frickies that, I mean, think about what sells in comedy. In comedy, you got to do something about religion, something
Mm-hmm.
about like sex, something about drugs, all
Yep.
the stuff that is controversial for it to be something that's going to hit and resonate.
That's
And
it.
Dev's not a controversial dude by nature, but he in a society that thrives off of controversy, feeds off that itch. And the image thing, I think, is like that similarly because of the culture, but also because the girl that used to work in PR with Tank is now working for him.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
So this is why I say all the time on my channel, people really don't love boxing like they say they do, but they love drama, they love
They
sensationalism,
love
and
drama.
that just
That's it.
spans across everything.
Spot
People
on.
We love the
love
drama. Mm-hmm.
It doesn't even have to be real. It can even be fake. Doesn't matter. They're gonna get behind
Yeah.
it.
oh, they love the fake. Yeah, just like the T Hill was saying, they love that fakeness because when we see the real, like how Devin really is, people really don't embrace him, and then they just kind of zone in on Bill. When you see somebody, I would say who's like real and really not hyped up or nothing like a Brian, people really didn't. But when did they start liking Brian really? When did people just come out the woodwork? When they found out he's fighting Devin. Then all of a sudden, and it was the same thing with Ryan. Ryan had his fan base, but when it turns out he was going to fight Devin, it just went crazy. It's just,
Now
Hey,
y'all know what would cash in like Floyd? This is what would cash in like Floyd. If you could take Bill and Devin, put them together with Devin's boxing skills and the stuff Bill do outside the ring, make that one person, that would cash in like Floyd on the negative part.
That's a
Hey,
great
they
point,
tried their
Pastor.
best.
That's a great point.
I'm gonna
It was
say
two
what
separate
though,
things. Floyd was one thing together, but
yeah, he
Devin and Bill
was.
are separate.
He
Yeah.
was.
So it
He
ain't
was the
working.
perfect mix at the
It's working
perfect
too good.
time. He was the perfect mix at the perfect time. I'll say
Mm-hmm.
this:
Yeah.
what
Facts.
Shawa just said highlights the fact that what they're doing has worked for them, though, because this fight is big because
Yeah.
it is Devin Haney, bro, and people want to see Devin Haney lose. That's crazy, but that's what it is, and they hoping to see his ass get sparked. And guess who's chief of it? The ninja that's putting up the bread.
Turkey.
Yeah.
Yeah, Turkey wants to see him get sparked, bro. He is lining his ass up, and if he don't get it done, guess what the next match will be? Somebody here he believes will get it done, and people will want to see it.
Thomas, look, I had to make my way back to this computer because you are hitting on all cylinders. It is absolute truth. Turkey wants to see Devin get hurt. Absolutely. I mean,
Why are
I'm
y'all
just
so
telling
convinced
y'all
of
what
this
I've
though?
heard, and it came from around them circles. So yeah,
Wow.
Wow.
he
That's
wants
messed
to.
up.
What you about to show us why, but I'm gonna tell you what. When your boy had to hand that belt and shake that man Crawford's hand when he beat Canelo, did he look happy?
To Mauricio.
Nah, fudge
Nah.
Mauricio. I'm talking
I
about
mean,
Mauricio was
Turkey,
definitely upset.
Turkikio,
Turkey. Yeah.
Turkisio, or
Yeah,
whatever his
Mauricio was
name
Wanted
is.
to
upset.
see Bud
Yeah.
get hurt too.
He couldn't stand the fact that brother went up in there and messed everything up. Them ninjas don't don't rock with us.
I love the way Bud did. It was
And
good.
Bud had that boy with a frown upside down, a smile upside down, all up on his face. Not even want to congratulate him before the fight. Remember, it's time to finish. Time to finish. Didn't have a one word to say to that ninja.
Yeah.
He lining us up, bro, but he got lined up in the process.
Yeah. It backfired just like the Shakur thing did.
That 115, 113 had me scared when they said that. I was like, oh no.
Yo, facts. Tom and
They
Jerry.
not gonna
Called
do
that
it.
Tom and Jerry. Remember? Tom and Jerry. What is that? That's a direct slap to black folks, bro. Like, man, he don't fool me, bro. He really don't. And Dana White damn sure don't fool me.
Oh hell
They
no,
like
it's no
Shawa
Dana
said,
White.
they lining people up.
You remember
Dana White
Shakur?
was
You remember
just a
Shakur in the
asshole.
Shakur before Cepeda in the dressing room had literally a Tom and Jerry hat on. That
Yeah.
was so hilarious. Bro.
Absolutely. I thought his color of his suit was kind of an homage to the brownish orange of Jerry.
Yeah, Tom and Jerry.
I got a
Yeah,
question though.
Dana White don't like people of color. Period. Go ahead,
Yeah, I
y'all.
don't think so either.
Mm-mm.
So I know you all remember then when Turkey made the comment that boxing needs a black heavyweight champion. So no, you don't believe that that's genuine, Thomas? If he's still here, he may not be here.
No, I absolutely believe it's genuine. I really do because, man, I mean, if we look around all the sports, when you look at the very best of the sport, what do you normally see?
Yeah, but does Turkey mean that when he says it? You said he doesn't really like us, which
No. He doesn't. What he's doing is capitalizing on the fact that that is a reality. That when black people hold the crown, it's so much more advantageous for the people that change over money.
Oh my gosh, there you go. Okay. You're right. You don't have to like you to capitalize off you because that happens every day in America, right?
So Shawa, I know you watch movies, don't you? I know the rest of us know. You don't? Okay, well, Flesh and Bone. There's a movie called Flesh and Bone with Michael Jai Parker?
Michael Jai White.
Michael Jai White, my bad. Michael Jai White. He is a fighter extraordinaire, and this brother has found him, and I mean, he's cleaning up the circuits, and this brother that's like responsible for bringing talent to people wants to sit at the big table, and he feel like I got the guy that's finally gonna get me acceptance at the big table, and he thought he was gonna do it. And when he got up there, they told him, like, you silly fool, you thought you was gonna get acceptance up in here? You are nothing more than entertainment. And to them, all we are breeding stock and entertainment.
You know what? I bet you, is that an older movie?
90s, I think, in the 90s.
I'm familiar to you. I think I've seen it.
I know that movie.
Like about 25 years ago.
So you know what I'm talking about, then, Define?
Yes,
movies, yeah.
absolutely.
That
that's
movie
like
was an
90s,
excellent play.
2000, around in there. Yeah.
Blood
I
and
saw that.
Flesh and Bone, you said it's called?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Flesh and Bone.
I bet
But
you.
it could be Blood and Bone. I don't really. I will send it to you, though. I promise you, I will.
I think it might be Blood and Bones to you. I
It could
can't
be
remember.
Blood and Bone.
It's like 25 or something years old, something like that. It's been a long time. I'm gonna watch that again though. Something in Bones. I knew that. And Michael Jai White, is in it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's Blood and Bone.
Blood and Bone.
Right.
I just-
Blood and Bone. That's it.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
just found it. Okay.
That's it. Blood and Bones. Mm-hmm.
But I swear to you, that scene more so than anything resonates because honestly, if we look over the space of time and in every different fashion or place of country, that has always been the case. That has always been the case. Yeah, they benefit off of that for sure. They do, and they want to say it because they want more people of talent to come through, so that they can get more people to follow suit.
And you know what's so funny and so crazy now that you bring all this up is that they constantly tell black fighters that we don't sell, but the biggest fights are generally against a black fighter. And you know what I mean? That clash of black against whatever it does sell because people want to see the black person get hurt at the end of the day.
Yeah, so much so, and I don't mean to take your spot or your talking point, but remember, even within black folks, Eubanks being light skinned black dude versus dark skinned black dude, uppity black folk versus not so uppity black folk.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
What's up, Crush the Legend? We got Crush the Legend that entered into the building. What's up, Crush?
We'll see you, Chief.
Yeah.
Yo,
we got
Crush, you on the side? What's up, Crush the Legend? My bad. I didn't even know he was up here with
I
us.
didn't either. We were so deep into this. Yeah. I don't know, Crush 9 a.m. Monday through Friday. One of the baddest shows in the YouTube.
Donuts.
We got to get ready to get out of here, though, too. Man, we've been.
She was about to say something. I want her to get her point out because I want to
finish your thought. Is she still up here? I think Shawa dropped off. Oh, there she is. What were you saying, Shawa?
No, I didn't drop off. My family brought me some food.
You were saying something?
Oh, before you eat, go on and cook.
Oh, no. I just said OCO to Crush.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the last thing we were talking about.
But before I was interrupted you was on your way to cook.
No, I said what I had to say, and that was just they want to see us get hurt, and now you brought up the perfect point. We got two brothers who are actually the same color, but one clearly is a puncher or somebody who inflicts pain, while we have a pure boxer more so. And we know for a fact Turkey wants to see Devin get hurt.
Right, and one man getting devastating stoppages. Right.
Yeah.
100%.
You guys are gonna see some stuff on that night, and it may put two and two together for you. You'll be like, "Oh boy, he wants to see that man get hurt."
Yeah, we're gonna get ready to get up. What time you coming? When the next time you coming on, Shawa?
I don't know, because I was kind of protesting after Bud won. I ain't gonna.
Oh, okay.
Everybody was just talking about.
Well, since we got to look, can we have a little bit of time? I want to get your thoughts on it because I understand how you felt about that. I want to understand what you think after post the fight.
It was beautiful. Give me a second. Hold on.
When you coming on again, B3? B3 still up here?
Yeah, I'm still up here. Appreciate you, Cass. And this was a great panel, great cook. Always love talking to the beautiful Shawa, my brother T here, my brother Define Irony, and also the great Boxtorian, man. Appreciate you, Cass. Listen, more than likely I'll be live tomorrow, probably around 11:15. We're gonna cook on something. Okay. Today we talked about, the possibility of Shakur fighting Tank, and then, Bomac saying that Crawford was the GOAT and better than Mayweather. So,
right.
So that was good. For
and
today.
also, who was the face of football?
Yeah,
and who's the last black face of football? Can anybody elaborate on that one before we call out? Because I don't know.
A football.
Mm-hmm.
I followed that sport for a span of time. So the last I remember was either Cam Newton or Julio Jones. Maybe Megatron or Steven. Peterson with the running back.
Adrian Peterson. AP.
But there's a few more. Just on receivers alone, bro. There's a bunch. I love Randy Moss. I don't know. Your question was who's the face?
Face.
The last face is that.
Yeah, the face. Yeah, so we kind of broke it down to it probably hasn't been one, but Mike Vick had a big. But it was like the lineage was like Brady, Peyton, like Brett Favre, probably Joe Montana, and maybe Lawrence Taylor.
Aaron Rodgers up there.
Now trying to make Josh Taylor.
Aaron was kind of nestled in between Brady and Peyton, so Brady kind of towered over Aaron, unfortunately.
What's the
he had to deal with that Brett Favre. Josh Allen.
Yeah, Josh Allen. That's what I was trying to say, Josh Allen.
That's what I said would probably be currently the face of football. And I said the last black face. I couldn't give an answer, but if I had to be forced to give an answer, Jim Brown.
Who? Oh, Jim Brown. Oh, you went
Jim
way
Brown.
back.
Oh man, Lawrence Taylor. Oh no, I think Lawrence Taylor or
That's
Nothing.
what
I
maybe
said
B3
was
said.
crying
B3
on him.
said
Lawrence
Lawrence
Taylor.
Taylor.
Yeah, we brought up
B,
Lawrence.
B,
Yeah.
but see, the only
Yeah.
problem was Lawrence Taylor played amongst the era where not only did John Elway play, but Dan Marino played, but Joe
yes.
Montana played.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mhm.
But
I
what
don't
you
care
were
who
saying
played.
is
All
different
three
from them.
men who was
No,
definitely
but he wasn't a
considered.
quarterback, right? He just owned the defense basically,
Yeah.
right? Like Deion Sanders.
What you say, Shower?
I was just gonna say three names of men who were recognized as being greater than Lawrence Taylor, as
Who
far
was
as
good?
American view.
Mm-hmm.
I live in Denver, and I could not stand Elway. He was really
Yeah.
a dirty. He was a dirty
No
little
way.
dude. Every chance I got, I talked bad about John Elway.
I hated him too.
Well, shout
Because
out to Shower.
the
I
Baltimore
don't even
Colts
like
drafted him.
football
He
that
said,
much.
I ain't playing in no Baltimore. I'll play baseball. I never liked him since then, man. We drafted him and he said, I'll play baseball. I ain't playing in no Baltimore. And they traded him.
Yeah, he did
Yeah.
not like. I
Never
don't think
liked him
us.
since then, man.
He didn't like us, and he was a wife
Yeah.
beater. I've
Right.
never liked John
And I
Elway.
was living in Baltimore at that time. When he did
Well, then
that.
you should have been there the night that Crawford pulled it off, because my man B3 had an epilogue for you.
For me,
Be luck.
you mean just this past Saturday?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes,
Oh
ma'am.
no, I tuned into B3 when he was winding down on his epic. Oh man,
B3
B3.
was
Yeah, I was
oh
listening.
boy.
My
I was
listen,
listening.
hey listen, on my show, I try to treat it like the Cosby's, like DVO say. What it was a little, it was toned down. It was, what I'm saying, but I was excited, man, just being able to enjoy in Bud's victory, man. What a dominant performance.
It was absolutely. So I didn't get to say I asked you guys to hold on, but
Yeah.
so before the fight, I said I did not really have a pick. I was leaning toward Canelo until I saw how
Mhm.
Bud took the power. When I saw Bud take that shot, I said, "Oh boy, okay, I already know what we in for." But
Yeah.
it was more than I actually thought, and I don't like Canelo or Bud, but I can never take away what that man just did Saturday. That was a beautiful, beautiful job of boxing Bud did, and shout out to him and that whole team. And that was marvelous to watch. I'm getting ready to watch it again here shortly.
And y'all know what? And he came in at 167.5. That's not a weight somebody coming from two weight. I thought he was going to be in the lower 160s. When I seen that 167.5, I was like, hold up now. That's
Yeah.
like
And
somebody trying to come down and make the weight right at the limit like that, you know?
No, because
You
he
think
was
somebody
and
come
coming
shout
down
and
down.
shout
with the
out, I think,
lower,
and just to
you know?
say that, my bad, Cass,
Go
but
ahead,
just to
B3.
what
Yeah, I
Tia
was
was saying about my epic soliloquy. uh, the key basis was I was triggered by Rick Timms, who had said that somebody was saying that Crawford didn't fight Canelo, he was running, and I
Oh
was
my
and I was
god.
and it just I would just feel like that was nasty to disrespect Crawford, or just to kind of not give him his credit and his just due after going up two weight classes and putting on a spectacular performance. To say that he was supposed to stand in there and do anything outside of what he did, I thought that was that lacked taste.
It does.
Haters are gonna hate, bro.
Yeah,
Hey,
exactly. But I
hey,
did say two things too before that fight. I said one, Bud was coming down in weight. You got to remember, Bud walks around in between 180 190. Two, I said Bud is gonna fight in the pocket, and a lot of people didn't believe that. I was like, he's absolutely going to, because people have done it and got away with it. Okay, we lost Kaz. So when I saw that, I was just so happy. I said, Bud is whooping this man's butt in the pocket. Let's go.
Mhm.
no, no. The reason why I ask you is because I know how you felt going into that fight, and I know how you felt concerning Bud, but yet you still got enough class, dignity, and respect to give somebody their flowers and their roses. And I mean, I was there. There are some content creators who use that moment not to big up Crawford, but to tear down other fighters, and certain fighters in particular. And that stuff blows my mind.
I said, and I
They're
mean it.
projecting their hate.
Right.
And calling other people haters. I'm sorry, Shawa, go ahead.
I was just gonna say I don't think a lot of people believe, or a lot of people don't even follow what they. I respect all fighters. At the end of the day, I do not have to like an individual to separate what they actually get in there and to do for their work.
Well
And
said.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
A lot of people can say that, and maybe they don't mean it, but I absolutely mean it. Like, boxing is a beautiful art. I could absolutely separate that from what I don't like Tank. But I'd be a liar if I said that dude couldn't fight beautifully.
Yeah.
So it's just like,
Yeah.
yeah, man.
It's like
Shout
me
out
with
to
Devin
him.
Haney. It's like me with Devin Haney. It's the same thing.
I'm starting not to like Devin, but
I
he's not
see.
fighting, when he's not fighting Brian, guess who I'm gonna be rooting for?
Devin.
Devin
For
Haney.
I
Devin.
know you're a Devin Haney fan. You just don't like the way he moving, and you definitely don't like his dad. His dad
Right.
has spoiled a lot of people on Devin, but like I told other
Well,
folks,
it
man,
ain't
I'm
a
not.
big deal, man, for me.
Let me tell you what I think of Bill Haney, right? I want to say what you guys think, right? I think Bill Haney can be super entertaining at times,
Hell
and
yeah.
I think he can be a stand-up guy when he wants to be. But I just think Bill Haney's one of these guys where you have to take the good with the bad. Like, there's two sides to him. That's just how it is. You understand? Like, there's people that there's just two sides to them. You know, they're Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. You know, and that's how I see Bill Haney personally. You know.
I see Bill as the biggest opportunist there is in boxing, and he's gonna take every opportunity he can to make the best for his son. I ain't mad at it.
Me
I ain't
neither.
mad at it. I just don't like when he get disrespectful and then try to use like someone else's disrespect to them for like reason why we should band against that.
Yeah, like
Don't
you
be what
ain't got
you
no business mentioning somebody's son.
yeah, don't be what you disapprove of. I can rock with him now, but if you do the same thing, and Kaz, I know you gotta go, bro. While you sitting in that spin cycle up there, if we gotta give last words, I'm gonna say Shawa's last words was what we should end on, because you don't have to like somebody to appreciate the work that they do in the ring. And what she loves most about boxing is the expression somebody does and how beautiful they can do it in the ring. And that night, that was nothing short of a Picasso. That was a Rembrandt. That was a freaking what's the Mona Lisa? What's his name? Da Vinci, Michelangelo, Raffaello, Donatello, all the Mickey Frickies. He did a. I'm sorry, bro. I don't get down with the way Bud move. I don't like it.
Right.
But when he move in that ring, you gotta respect it.
That's something separate.
Yes.
Totally
And I could and like she said, I could separate the two.
Mhm.
I don't have no ill will toward Bud.
Me
I
neither.
think some of the thing he do is kind of crazy. But I understand that, I've been putting it down in this ring and nobody giving me my propers. How would that make me feel?
He'll get it, man. He'll get it,
I
man.
love everything you said, Shawa, and yeah, we should end on that because that was real good. Yeah.
Hey, but Define on it. And when you coming on again? Define on it started his thing, y'all.
Yeah,
I got
did
follow
live
you.
last
I
night.
already follow you,
Was
Define
live.
Art.
I appreciate it.
His,
Later today. I can't put a time on it, but it's gonna be in like 3 hours
today?
or something like that. Maybe later.
Okay.
Yeah, later today.
It's
I'm
on
gonna check you
Divine
out
Irony
today.
channel.
Yeah,
I'm gonna check you out today, okay?
Okay.
appreciate
Well,
it.
I just subscribe. Click the bell.
Yeah, I haven't subscribed yet, but I am in a minute.
You guys make
And
sure
check
you
out last night.
sub and subscribe to. Oh, my bad. Go ahead, Cass.
Oh no, I was just telling Define Arnie I'm gonna check out his last night's show when we get off. He said he
Okay,
got one in the books already.
So make sure you subscribe and follow my man B3 Picks. Definitely subscribe and follow my good sis Shawa Laya. If you hear and you haven't subscribed and followed my man Cass Sports yet, you need to be slapped. Slap yourself in this moment. Take a chick in the mirror, just slap yourself, and then go hit that click that subscribe button and hit that notification bell. If you heard right now, my man Define Irony has a new channel, and it's Irony Boxing. I mean, it's still under the same name, but now he just switched up the way it's on. Sub to the brother right there. We got Crush the Legend up in there, Coffee and Donuts. We had BVO up here, BVO Boxing Sports TV. There is the JBT. There is the ST. And then there's me. I'm just. Oh no! Wait! Casual Sports. We got a Casual Corner. My bad. Casual's Corner. Yeah. I'm tripping. Casual's Corner.
And probably listening.
My man, Aunt McQueen. Now there is 4, but normally it's either 1 or 2, and that's Aunt McQueen and myself. But there's also Pound for Pound Boxing Talk and my man Ange Behind the Hands. I mean, not Behind the Hand. Who Got Hands Boxing. So sub to that channel, man. We do breakdowns of films and of what action we see in the ring and what we can expect to see in the ring. And shout out to the Boxdorian. Cash Sports, always doing boxing a major service, always giving nothing but pure, unadulterated, unbiased boxing talk. Never no feelings, always facts, nothing but truth. And you can study that. It's like it was a subject. So while you on the subject right now, parting ways, make sure you hit that bell icon, hit that subscription button, hit that like button, because I like that. And hit the fact that, you know what, if you can say something, the chat is always available. And there's a link if you would like to voice it. And we gonna do nothing but do what we did today. Shout out to the lovely Shawalaya. So poignantly put what boxing is and what my man Terrence Crawford did in the ring. Shout out to that guy, and shout out to you guys. Till the next time, and till the next time today, when one of us come on, make sure you pop up and say hello and hit that like button, god dang it, because we like that. And we out.
God bless, fellas. Real good stuff. Appreciate every single one.
Blessings to you all. Blessings, Kaz. I appreciate you.
Peace.
See, and we can appreciate it. You can be appreciated over here too. So definitely come through.
Thomas
Salute
Gill.
salute to Thomas Hill. You can't forget the legendary Thomas Hill. Salute to Thomas
The
Hill.
loquacious, legendary Thomas Gill. Good afternoon to you, brothers.
Same to you guys. See you next time.